Oh my gosh. Journey of life. What are you doing? I've never felt so much pressure to hurry up and go live in my life. What happened? I didn't come to my computer until what time is it? 8:20. Well, it's 8:28 now. I came at 8:26. Why are you pressuring me? Let me show y'all. Y'all probably can already see it. Hold on, let me see. Oh my gosh, so much pressure. Let me see if y'all can see it on y'all end. Journey of life is over here having a tizzy, having a hiss. Oh, you want your crown, your number one on the leaderboard. Hello, I'm here. Hey, good afternoon. Oh, I hope it's a good sandwich. Oh my gosh. Imagine if somebody is just finding me. They're going to be so confused as to what's going on. Gosh. Okay. Do you see Journey of Life spam in the chat? I don't know what's wrong with that child. Hey. What I should have did, Jen, is asked you for, oh, Jen, I gotta make your vein badge bigger. I was just trying to do that before I got on. I gotta make the month one badge bigger. Somehow the font is smaller than the previous badge. So it's a little bit smaller. I gotta fix that. It's early for her. She has energy. And then watch her be late. Watch her come in like 30 minutes after she was here before everybody else, trying to be number one on the leaderboard. Okay, so let me close that. It's confusing me. Hold on. Okay. All right. Okay. So Jen, I should have asked you for a title recommendation since you were saying put something to get the men to come. So we're going to talk a little bit about whether or not they're exempt from the fads. Because to be honest, when I was thinking of the title, I was like, well, I actually don't know the answer to that. Are they? Like when we think about diet culture, do we think about the men? I kind of feel like they get a little bit of a pass, don't they? I don't know. I don't have. Okay, you're here. Yes, you're number one on the leaderboard. Okay, gosh. Like, okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me try this new feature in StreamYard. Let me see if I like this. Putting the comments on stage. Okay. So we are going to be talking about fasting since we didn't get to finish our conversation yesterday. But a little bit of housekeeping first, because I always got some bad news. I agree. The men probably don't think of them as fads. Okay. So I went to get my lashes done. I did make it to Charlotte. Then I went to the mall to get fitted for a bra, and I couldn't find parking, and I was frustrated. Like I didn't feel like dealing with it. So I left the mall, and again, I did not make it to the gym because I forgot. No humidity, no moisture. Like I literally got the whole rundown after getting my lashes done. She's like, okay, you know the drill. Don't get them wet. Don't sweat. Don't do this. No humidity, no heat, no this, no that. And I'm like, shit, I forgot. So I'm sick of this. Like it seems like every time I plan to go to the gym, something is coming up because I always got something different to do. So tomorrow's my no day, but I'm going to work out on my no day. Working out is a part of my relaxation. It's going to be very light. Nothing heavy. I'll skip the weights, but I am definitely going to get some infrared tomorrow. Okay. Y'all can't stop me. I just won't come on here. All right. Oh, I found the sisterhood ring. It was in my bag. I don't know if you saw the video where I said I lost it again and I was hoping it would turn up, and it did. It turned up today. I found the sisterhood ring. Okay. And I made sure to know where I put it this time, which is back in my bag. I typically keep the ring and my watch together, and somehow they got separated. Okay. So we are oh, actually, let me see something real quick. We are talking about fasting. We're going to get into the people that are into fasting and the people that are not. We're going to talk more about that, the whys, why people aren't into it. And I guess we're going to be talking about the men tonight. They may come through, they may not, but we're going to be on here for a little while. I got time. I got time. Hold on. I don't want my window looking like that. I would prefer it looks like this. Okay. Yeah, it's 8:30. So we started early enough. We got time to chit chat. So I gotta kind of go off the dome. I didn't make any notes. I don't have any videos to review. I'm probably gonna see if I can stumble across a vegan video to watch. I know Taisha's a vegan, but I did not do my research on like which video of hers I wanted to review. There was one from a while ago, but I decided not to review it. So maybe I'll find one for the carnivores, the vegans. Maybe I'll find one on fasting. We'll see. Let's just play it by ear, okay? So we left off from earlier. I can't see. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, good. All right. Housekeeping only took 5 minutes. Good morning. Good morning, Michelle. Oh my gosh. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good day, Michelle. Good day. All right. So we left off earlier. Well, first of all, everybody stop and say hi, you cloud watchers, you sky people. You sky people, I need you to come down out of the clouds and say hello, okay? Thank you very kindly. So we left off talking about Jen's comment as far as like, shouldn't we be running away from diet culture? And that's her beef with fasting. And I was saying that it was actually a good point. It's just a point that I disagree with, but if you see it that way, I can see why you'd be like, no, like that's diet culture. No, we don't want to do that. Yes, members, you can drop the clouds, and everyone else, you can drop a cloud emoji. Hello, hello. Oh, y'all are actually listening. Oh, Kim King, thank you for falling. I hope you had a gentle landing. Soft landing, Desi. Soft landing. Hello, hello. Thank y'all for coming out of the clouds. Hello, hello. Okay. All right. Okay. Yes, I like this. Okay. All right. I'm not gonna bully y'all. Y'all can go back. Y'all can go back to your angels nest, okay, if you want. You can go back to the nest of angels of sky people, okay? Like the stream, share if you will. Let me get my life together. Typically I share the membership link before I start, but I was not. I was late. I was watching my show, y'all. I'm so into this show. It's so good. It's so good. Okay. So I want to address the idea that fasting is a part of diet culture, because I would wholeheartedly disagree, but I could see why someone could make an argument for the other side. And I just want to see if my argument stands up for why it's not. So feel free to push back. Doesn't have to be confrontational. Feel free to share your thoughts in the chat. And also let me share the link, because if anyone wants to come up and talk, then you can do that. I know y'all be shy. I know y'all be shy out here, okay? Never mind the fact that Journey of Life owes me a visit to the panel, but we're not going to talk about that right now. I'm just going to share the link for anybody that wants to join. I ain't saying no names, Journey of Life. I ain't saying no names. Let me just go ahead and get this link. This one. This is the one I need. The first link is to become a member. And I can start a new poll if y'all would like. I can start a new poll. Jen, can you pin the link that I just shared? And that is to come up on a panel if you're interested. If not, no worries. You can feel free to comment in the chat. And also, Desi and who was it? It was Desi and Kim. Are you guys pro fasting or not? I'm going to ask that several times throughout the stream as people come in. Hey, Nature Girl, have you tried Ninja Creamy? I just ordered mine. Can y'all say protein ice? I want the Ninja Creamy so bad. Nature Girl, you going to buy me one too? I have a P.O. box. I love everything Ninja. Waffle maker, blender, air fryer, or the 5-in-1. I want the creamy really bad, but I don't have one, unfortunately. I want one bad though. No to fasting. Okay. I can't do that. You can't do the creamy? What's wrong with the creamy? It's like an ice cream maker or a frozen treat maker. Okay. So let me just start out by saying that I think that my dad has a PO box. I don't have nothing no more. Journey of Life. My mail has been forwarded to my dad's PO box. But if anybody, I've considered, my channel's not big enough yet, but I've considered, like, I've seen other content creators do things where, like, people that want to send them gifts and stuff like that, they'll have a PO box that they could send it to. I haven't done it. because I don't think there's enough interest for that. But if anybody's ever interested, I may set one up. But no, I don't have a PO box. My dad got a PO box, and I send my mail to his PO box. What are you, Jen? Jen. Is Jen short for Jennifer? Because I'm about to call you Jennifer. I'm about to do it. Jen, click the 3 dots on next to the link that I sent and click pin message. You're a managing moderator, so you should be able to do that. If you can't, let me know, because then I need to fix that. But you should be able to pin the link. Why can't you do it? Oh my God. Is it just me? Is it just me? Is it me? Hold on. Let me see. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it wouldn't allow you to pin even as a managing moderator. That's so dumb though. You should be able to do it. Not type pin. Oh my gosh. Hi, G's. Okay, G's is doing the damn thing. Go check out. No. Oh gosh. Who posted the before and after today? It was you. You did. Yes, you did. Okay, go check out G's before and after. Amazing. Wonderful progress. And G's is one guy we have that's a faster. Okay. Unfortunately, G's is gonna have to hold it down for the for the fellas, because the rest of them. Oh, you don't have the 3 dots. Okay, hold on. Let me look up something real quick. Can managing moderators? No, let me look it up that way. They can they can manage aspects of the live chat, adjusting participation mode, subscriber only, member only, you can slow down the chat. Okay, you can't pin a link. Okay, so hold on, let me see if you can pin. Hold on. Pin a message. Let me see. It says managing moderators on YouTube can pin a comment on a live stream chat. I wonder why that didn't work for you. What are the sorry y'all, sidebar, but what do the 3 dots say for you, Jen? Does it say unpin? Just out of curiosity. We're talking about the comment. There's on my end, there's 3 dots to give me a couple of options of what to do with the comment, to pin it at the top. One of the options is to pin it, and I thought Jen had that ability too, but apparently not. And apparently, Jen, you have the ability to set to change the live chat. Like, you can slow it down, you can set it to subscribers only, and all of that. So all that fussing I be doing on the vertical live streams, I shouldn't be. Unpin it and then try to pin it. Just see. I'm just curious. We're sidebar, everybody. Sidebar. Give me 60 seconds. Okay, so unpin it, Jen, and then see if it lets you pin it. If it doesn't, then I'll go ahead and pin it again. I'm just curious as to the features. Okay, let me know. And if you're just coming in like the stream, we're going to get started in just a second. I just need to do one thing. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so unorganized. I'm so disorganized. Hold on. What? Never mind. Vanity answered. I unpinned, but it's gone on my end. Weird. Okay. We'll figure that out another time. So let me just do it again. Unpin and undo. Okay, that's fine. I'll figure it out another time. I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? It's probably because I shared it from StreamYard. Let's try one more thing, just out of curiosity. I'm so sorry, y'all. Okay, so we were talking about hold on. Try that one. See what happens. If it's still no 3 dots, no worry. I'm just experimenting right now. Okay. All right. Before people start ditching me. All right. So we were talking about, let me get caught up. I am pro people doing whatever works for them. I have never fasted for weight loss, but I have fasted for spiritual reasons, getting my flesh under subjection, seeking guidance from God, etc. Okay. So that still puts you in the pro. Okay. Yes. That puts you in the pro fasting category though. But I agree. Pro people doing whatever they want. My sister has the ice cream machine, and oh my goodness, it's so yum. She made me a strawberry and cheesecake. Yeah, I want one bad. Go ahead and send me one Journey of Life. I'll trade you a Ninja. I was gonna say a Ninja Yummy. They should have named it the Ninja Yummy. The Ninja Creamy for the ring. How I'm gonna trade you some I already said you could have. Oh my gosh. Okay, so is fasting a part of diet culture? What do you say, G's? Let's start a poll. Let's start a poll. Come on. I wish I could have. Oh, shoot. Did it even give? Hold on. Do y'all see the poll with no options to select? Did I just mess that up? I'm sorry. Let's do that again. I think I did the wrong thing. I think I did Q&A instead of poll. Start a poll. Okay. One day I'll get my life together, y'all. Okay, there we go. I did Q&A instead of poll. Okay. My answer is no. Let me go ahead and vote because I get to vote too. Oh no, it's not. You're not gonna let me vote in my own poll. That's whack. My feelings matter too. That's whack. You'll poke around. Okay. All right. So yeah, geez, you gotta hold it down for the guys until hopefully Teddy will come and some other people that are pro or anti-fasting. Okay. So we're gonna get into a little bit of diet culture, right? What are we defining as diet culture? Because is diet culture a monolith? Is it an umbrella? Is it one understanding, or is it a compilation of understandings? Right? Is it a bunch of different understandings all under one umbrella, or is there some sort of consensus around diet culture? Yeah, but I want to skew the results. I want my vote to count. My verbal vote don't count. I want it to count in the poll. Okay, so I say no. Okay. And I did put fads in the title because people consider different diets to be fads, meaning sort of kind of like a bandwagon that people hop on and hop off of. They consider fasting to be under the category of fads, like a trend that comes and goes. Now, while I can agree that a lot of people see fasting as a trend, which I wouldn't even say it's trendy anymore. I would say that new people find it hard to believe that in 2025 versus like a 2017, right? Or 2015. I would say now the people that learned, so not the people that fast for religious reasons or spiritual reasons, but the people that fast for health reasons that may have learned about it in the past 10 years, we're kind of set in our ways when it comes to fasting. Like we're kind of on the train, right? We're on this train and we're staying on it. But I don't think there's new people getting on the train. I think that the 2015, 2016, 2017 energy behind fasting being super duper popular, like at its height, I think that time has passed. And there are a lot of people that got off the fasting train because it was just quote unquote popular at the time. But those of us that found true benefits from fasting, we're on the train. We're on the train for life. Like this is just what we do, right? It may not be a 24-hour fast all the time, but at least like a 16 to 18, that's just kind of how life is now. Like to the point where we may not even get hungry until about 16 to 18 hours, into the fast or whatever. But I don't think we're at a point where new people, like it's not popular enough. So people aren't interested enough for new people to want to kind of join into that lifestyle or add that into their lifestyle, if that makes sense. Jen says, how long does a fad last? Well, let's see. That's a good question. I don't think there's a general answer for it, but let's see. Let's say what is a fad, right? Fads are objects or behaviors that achieve short-lived popularity but fade away. Fads are often seen as sudden, quick spreading and short-lived events, including diets, clothing, hairstyle, toys, and more. Okay, so I don't think we have an exact timeline, but let's ask Google. How long? I'll say it varies depending on the object or the activity. How long does a fad last? Fads are typically short-lived, often lasting from a few weeks to a year. That's interesting that they put that in a timeline. They tend to start quickly, gain popularity rapidly, and then decline just as quickly. This contrasts with trends, which evolve more slowly and have a longer lifespan. Interesting. So fads are more so associated with short duration, but I like that they did the contrast with trends, because if you think about a trend, right, something that you would typically think of as a trend, it does seem to be more long lasting, maybe across a generation, right? Like I would say a trend could potentially last a decade to a generation, which will be 20 years. What do y'all think about that? About the length of a trend? Fasting is good for us, and mankind has been fasting since the beginning of time. It's a cleanse, and when you cleanse your inside, you lose weight. It's a bonus, but then you gain it back sometimes. So just like I like to think of it as, just like weight loss is a side effect of a GLP-1, it's just a side effect of fasting. It is a side effect. It does not have to be the reason you fast, but it can be. Just like weight loss does not have to be the reason you take a GLP-1, but it can be. I'm all about fasting. It's essential, but I don't think it's as popular as things like calorie counting. Yes, we're going to get into that. I've only heard people talking about fasting the past 2 or 3 years. No, Jen, that's the tail end. We're in 2025. That is the tail end. When I got into it in like 2017, 2018, that was like the height of like everybody talking about specifically intermittent fasting. Like that's when that term was coined, and Dr. Jason Fung was like the leading voice of fasting at that time. And there was, but it wasn't a consensus. It was kind of like a 50-50 split. I would say there was a lot of people that were against fasting. Like I'm used to people being anti-fasting. That's why it just makes me wonder why, like what the reasoning is. But I'm not really surprised by it or offended by it, because at that time there were fasting got a lot of pushback. So a little bit of backstory. Like Journey of Life said, human beings have fasted forever, okay? But we don't even need to go that far back. Fasting as a medical intervention or a lifestyle intervention, I would say, is fairly new within the past 10 to 15 years. Like doing it as a choice to change something about your health, associating fasting with health is newer versus like, as far as popularity, versus like fasting for a Ramadan or fasting for Lent or whatever, right? Or do you fast for Lent? I don't know. I'm just saying stuff. But so the past 10 years, there was like an arc of popularity that peaked at about somewhere between 2017, 2019. Then you get COVID, and yeah, people are still talking about it. But once you get into 2021, 2022, 2023, the energy starts to shift more toward the GLP-1s, right? And then people kind of leave fasting by the wayside. So if you heard people talking about fasting in the past 2 to 3 years, those are probably people that were already on the train from the prior 4 to 5 years, I would guess, but I would have to see their content to know. 15 years ago, actually, I lost 80 pounds the first time by implementing water fasting. Then I got pregnant. Okay, so here's the thing, right? So we were talking about fads. So let's say 6 months to a year. I think by that definition alone, fasting is not a fad. I never felt like it was, but to clarify, I never thought that fasting was a fad because people have, there's so much to say, and without notes, I'm going to be like jumping all over the place. But I will say, think about it as when we watched that video about the doctor talking about the GLP-1s, right? And being okay with diabetics taking it, but not being okay with people taking it for obesity. You can't really explain that contradiction, right? That's a hard contradiction to explain, why the medication is okay for one group of people, but not for the other group of people when they can get the same effect, right? Same thing with fasting. When fasting became popular as a lifestyle or weight or health intervention because it wasn't just about weight, right? It was about diabetes as well. When it starts to become popular as an intervention, a lot of people had this like the same animosity and pushback just like they do for GLP-1s and weight loss. So it was like, hey Teddy, it was like, no, don't do it. What is with people always telling fat people how to lose weight? Like, no, don't do it that way. Like there was a lot of no, don't do it that way. There was a lot of fear mongering going on around fasting, even though people have fasted for religious and spiritual reasonings, spiritual and religious reasons forever. But we don't look at people that fast for Ramadan and be like, oh my God, they're a bunch of loonies, they're gonna drop dead. Like, no, we don't do that, right? So why is it that if a person that's not doing it for religious reasons takes the same amount of time to not eat, we look at them like they're going to die or become anorexic? That's what the energy was like. Like, it was really crazy. It was like, whatever you do, just like there are doctors now that will not prescribe a GLP-1 for weight loss. It was the same thing for fasting that back then. It was like, whatever you do not fast. Whatever you do, put a muffin in your mouth. Whatever you do, eat a slice of bread. Whatever you do, make sure you eat. Like, and there was a lot of clashing. So there's never really been a consensus on fasting. There's the group of people that decided to do it, and then there's the group of people that felt like you should never do it. I didn't really see a lot of people in the middle. I didn't really see a lot of people in the middle. It was just like either you were a hard yes or you were a hard no. But if you were someone that kind of fell in the middle, let me know. Funny, I didn't know GLP-1 was talked about this much. LOL, I purchased from my pharmacy, but I never thought so many people were making pages about it. I think those are the diet culture folks. Okay. Yeah, old school dieters, yes, but the new school GLP-1 era dieters, no, they are more calorie counters. Old school dieters are yes to fasting. New school GLP-1 era dieters are more calorie counting. Okay, I'm going to go back to that because I think they're all calorie counters. Yes, I learned a lot in almost 5 months. Okay, so let's address G's comment about calorie counters. To me, when we define diet culture, I think calories and calorie counting is the epitome of diet culture. I'll do you one better. We talk about calories over here, which a few years ago I would have never even mentioned a calorie, but I've come around. We talk about calories over here in a sense of like making sure you eat enough and never like spending long periods of time under eating because that's going to damage your metabolism in the long run. But I will say, Jen, I'd even make the argument that the calorie counters are closer, like the cut your calories to lose weight, cut your calories by 500 or 1,000 to lose weight, eat less, move more. Those people are closer to diet culture than fasters. Fasting, like the people that fast are on the outside of diet culture because they've already decided that not eating is okay. Diet culture people don't believe in not eating. Hear me out. Okay. This is my theory, G's and Jen and people and y'all and everybody and knee replacement dog. Okay. Diet culture people don't believe in not eating. I think that people that fast are different than diet culture people. I do think they are. I do. I think there are many groups of people, but I don't think the people that fast and the people that believe in cutting calories, because I won't just say counting. Counting is the problem. Trying to cut as a long-term strategy is the problem that I have with calories. Thinking that your body works like a calculator instead of on hormones is what I have with the calorie conversation. So a lot of the times I'll throw calories out the window when I'm talking to people about weight loss, unless we're talking about eating enough. Most of the time I'll throw calories out the window because cutting your calories is not necessarily the priority, right? It definitely depends on what eating style or diet that you choose. But like, I don't think just because you pick a certain way of eating that you are automatically a part of diet culture, right? Like, I don't think that. I don't think just because you say I am a vegan, you are a part of diet culture, or just because you say I'm a carnivore, you're a part. No. It's what's your mindset behind that, right? It's a bit deeper than that. But I would say the calories in, calories out people, at the end of the day, all it comes down to is calories. Those people are closer to diet culture because they feel like cutting your calories as low as possible is the priority, which is dead wrong. Hi, Nowhere. Have you seen that the cost of insurance on the exchange is estimated to increase by 75% next year? That's even with the subsidies since they are being reduced. No, I have not seen that. I know nothing about it. If you're talking about the big beautiful bill, I have not been keeping up. It's one of those things where I'm just like, it's outside of my control. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, which sucks because I have marketplace insurance. My Zepbound is not covered. I pay out of pocket for it. I pay $400 a month for health insurance. Actually, $415. What's $415 plus 75%? Another $200-$300. Let's see, $415 plus 75%, $726. I know one thing: I won't have health insurance if my health insurance goes up to $726. I won't do it. I will pay for my medical bills out of pocket before I let an insurance company charge me $726 a month. No, I'm good. I wish I knew how good GLP-1s were a long time ago. I'm sad that this didn't become popular earlier in my lifetime. Yeah. Say that one more time. What did I say? Agreed, Journey. Had meeting about it and everything. And just say these people are raising my expense budget. 75%, knee replacement dog, don't miss a meal. Amen. Now, Jen, you know what's funny about that? So back in 2020, I got my dog and people were putting their dogs on OMAD. Do you, boo-boo? My dog eats twice a day. People were putting their dogs on OMAD. I don't know if dogs only need to eat once a day, but my dog eats twice. So yeah, I do not count calories, never had. Yes, calorie counting will be involved in all aspects, but I think there are differences among a Weight Watcher type counter and an awareness type. I don't count or write calories ever because I eat. Okay. The same food and already I eat the same food. I guess that was a continuation and already know what my intake is without even thinking about calories anymore. Okay. I don't care. I've been on every diet under the sun. It feels like water fasting and intermittent fasting has actually saved my life many times. Y'all are feuding in this chat because it worked for me before Zepbound. You better get married. Who having a wedding? What the fuck are y'all talking about? Listen, I won't do it. I'm not paying $700 a month for insurance. I'm not doing it. Okay, so y'all have said a lot. Okay, Teddy, where do you stand on the fasting? I know you did your first fast with us. I'll always remember that. So where do you stand on fasting, Teddy? Vanity will have to get married to get health insurance. You know what's funny about that? It's not funny, but I was married. I was married and it took us 2 years to get divorced because that health insurance was popping. That TRICARE was popping. Used to be in the service, right, Jen? I think TRICARE was popping. I had a bunch of dental work to get done and I was not about to pay for that out of pocket. So it took us a couple years to get divorced. Who getting married? Y'all not about to throw marriage on me. Okay. Unless y'all throwing the wedding. I don't know what to tell y'all. Like, who am I marrying? Knee surgery dog? Knee replacement dog? Like, what are y'all talking about? Okay, so stop distracting me, y'all. Oh my God. Okay. You're here for the fake wedding or for fasting? I'm confused. No, stop. Okay. So where do I want to start? Because y'all said a lot. Okay. There is a stigma. Okay. How do I want to put this? Diet culture is a consensus on how things should be done. Eat less, move more. Eat 6 times a day or more. So 3 meals and 3 snacks. Eat processed supplement type things like protein bars and protein shakes and all of that. Work out like you're about to lose your mind, or work out like your life depends on it. What else? Pick a side, meaning that very little room for diversity in the diet. You pick a diet instead of just eating how you would naturally eat. You pick a way to eat and you stick to that. Cutting calories to lose weight, exercising to burn calories, 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 calories. But no matter what you do, eat. That's diet culture to me. No matter what you do, eat. No matter what you do, eat and count your calories and make sure you're cutting your calories to lose weight. Calories in, calories out, eat less, move more. Is that a fair assessment of diet culture? You pick a tribe, you pick your tribe, you pick your diet tribe, not diet tribe. Okay. Hi, Kona. Are you pro fasting or against? Okay. No service for me. Taisha's retired military. Oh, it was Taisha. Okay. All right. Okay. My friend uses Fairlife shakes and the Ninja Creamy to make chocolate protein ice cream. I don't know if that sounds good or not. I'm not sure. I hope it's good. Okay. All right. Okay. I would agree. That sounds about right. About the idea of diet culture. Okay. All right. So I don't think that fasting fits into that, because fasting is not a style of eating. It's not about calorie. Okay, right. So everything I listed, fasting is the opposite of that, right? So it's not about calories. Calories don't even matter when you're fasting. It's not about what you put in your mouth. It's actually about when you eat. It's not about what you eat. It's about when you eat, or not eating at all. So when you eat would be intermittent fasting. Not eating at all would be extended fasting. Okay. But it's all fasting. It doesn't matter. We're focused on a period of time where you're not eating. So technically what you're putting in your mouth doesn't matter, but ideally that don't mean eat the standard American diet. I remember the first time I broke a fast ever. Y'all know what I went and got? Y'all are not in the South, so y'all probably not gonna know. Maybe Teddy will know, but I went and got some Bojangles. When I first did it wasn't even 24 hours. Like when I first started fasting, it was like 12, 14 hours, and I was delirious. I was starving, hungry. I waited for my fast was over, I think at 6 a.m. I was at Bojangles at 5 a.m. for a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. Y'all know I love my bacon, my eggs, and my cheese. I broke my fast with Bojangles. I was that hungry. Woo, that was about 7 or 8 years ago. But yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Okay, so fasting is the opposite of diet culture, right? Because it's not about what you eat. It's not about counting your calories. It's not about exercise, right? It's not about moving your body. In fact, it's about resting when you fast. You want to actually move around as little as possible. It's about hydration, right? You're supposed to hydrate. I don't know why anybody would be doing a dry fast, meaning without water. But and then fasting is about igniting certain hormones, okay? Certain hormones that would not be triggered because you're always eating. You're always eating. Fasting is about a break. Fasting is about, I don't like the word cleansing, but for lack of better words, cleansing. I need a better word. I don't like the word cleanse. Has been overtaken to the point of it's just like people will check out as soon as you say cleanse. Like there's the people that'll check out and there's the people that'll check in like, ooh, cleanse. Like they just like the word cleanse. So fasting is about, it's literally the antithesis. I can't say it with my retainer. It's the opposite, or the alternate reality when it comes to diet culture, right? And with that being said, right, because you don't have to count your calories, technically you don't have to worry about what you're eating. You don't have to exercise is a part of fasting, right? You exercise in the fed state, even though there are some benefits to exercising in the fasted state, but we're not even going to talk about that right now. You're hydrating and you're giving your body a chance to rest and do other shit. Okay. All right. You're giving your body a chance to rest and do other things. Our bodies are meant to do more than just processed muffins that we're putting in our mouths, or steaks, or chips, or pizza, or celery. Like whatever, our bodies are meant to do more than process food, right? How many people, I'll put it to you like this. How many people, when you get sick, you lose your appetite? Put a 1 in the chat. When you get the common cold, when you get a fever, when you get a stomach ache, stomach virus, stomach flu, any type of sickness, how many people lose their appetite? Can I walk before having a milkshake diet culture? Yes. Wait, what do you mean? Walk to burn off some calories to make space for the milkshake calories? If so, yes, that is diet culture. And that's not how calories work. Hi, GLP-1 journey in review. We fast when we sleep. Many of the people I know who fasted for weight loss have told me they never changed their diet or counted calories because it's not about that. You don't have to. It's about your hormones. Like, you literally don't have to change anything, but you should for overall wellness. You should. Bo's just got here in Texas in the past year or two. Previously, we had to go to ATL or somewhere. Yeah, I broke my fast with some Bo's. Hey, Tara, thank you for falling out of the clouds. Hi, I usually catch the replays, but I wanted to weigh in on the topic of fasting. I started fasting nearly 10 years ago. I was trying to find a way to alleviate pain without prescriptions, and it worked. Tara, wonderful. You're exactly the person that I'm talking about. The person that within the past 10 years decided to use fasting for some sort of ailment, right? That happened, like that group of people was established in the past 10 years, 10 to 15, but definitely in the past 10. So I would agree. That's why it's called break fast. You break your fast every morning when you eat your breakfast. I haven't discussed this with my doc, but one of the reasons I think I should fast from time to time is because I had surgery on my L and S intestines. So a break sometimes is helpful for me. What is L and S? Should I know that? I don't know. I'm having a slow moment. Okay. One for losing your appetite when you get sick. Should we be working up to fasting longer and longer? I'll come back to this comment. That's amazing, Tara. Are you on a GLP-1? Okay. Really? I thought it was, but I didn't want to be wrong. Okay, whatever. So hold on. Only Teddy answered this. I need the rest. Listen, if you've ever gotten sick and lost your appetite, put a 1. If that doesn't happen to you, when you get sick, you still can eat. In fact, you prefer to eat or whatever, put a 2. 1 for when I'm sick or under the weather, I don't want to eat. 2 for I do want to eat when I'm under the weather. My answer is 1. My answer is 1. So I want y'all to tell me. Let me see how the poll is doing. Whoa, we're at 69% no. Oh my gosh. Okay, where are all my no's? No's, I need you to comment. I need you to comment and tell us why you're no. I promise I don't bite. Only on Monday through Friday. Okay? Saturdays, I'll be nice. Okay? All right. So think about it like this, right? As far as your body needing a break to do other shit. When you are sick, it is not a coincidence that you no longer have an appetite. I asked, when you get sick, how many people lose their appetite? Put a 1 if you lose your appetite and don't want to eat anything. Put a 2 if your appetite is unaffected and you have no problem eating when you're sick. Okay? Think cold, common cold, flu, stomach flu, whatever, fever, whatever, right? The reason that you lose your appetite is because your body is busy doing other shit. Your body is busy fighting off whatever ailment you have going on at that time. Digestion is the last of your body's concerns. Think about it like that. Okay. I'm not no scientist. I'm not no doctor. Okay. Talk to your doctor, talk to your local scientist down at the community college. Okay. But I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, okay. And this is not me. I'm not a genius. I've heard this from Dr. Jason Fung, and I thought it was actually very smart. When you get sick, the last thing your body wants is for you to eat, because we ain't got time for that. Digestion, we don't got time for that. We don't have time for that. It's like digestion is a lengthy process. It's a very intricate process. It's a very detailed process, and we just don't have time for it when we're sick. Now, how many people will force food down anyway? Like soup, bread, crackers, whatever, rice. We force food down anyway, right? Because we don't technically want to feel worse from feeling hungry. So we eat anyway, but we don't really want to. And that's, our body does that for a reason, because our body has other shit to work on when we're sick, okay? So that's when you're obviously sick. But what about when it's not so obvious, right? Like an old injury, like chronic pain, like inflammation, all of those, being overweight or obese, right? What about when it's not other things that immediately may be bothering, or they may be immediately bothering you, but your body's not necessarily going to turn off your appetite to address those things. Those things are less important. You have to turn off the eating yourself so your body can work on those things. Are y'all following me so far? When you're obviously sick, when your body's fighting a foreign agent, it'll turn off your appetite. We ain't got time for that. We don't have time for the food. We ain't got time. We'll get back to that later in a couple of days when you're feeling better. But when you have other ailments that aren't super urgent, your body doesn't turn off the appetite, which means you have to do it. You have to turn off the food. Okay? All right. What are y'all talking about? Okay. Denise says 1, losing your appetite when you're sick. I'll eat if I had 101 fever. Are you eating because you're actually hungry? Do you have an appetite journey of life, or are you eating just to eat, just out of curiosity? I say the most important part is ensuring that your intake is whole foods. Mine, normally I stick to salmon, ribeye, chicken. No. What are you talking about, G's? What? I must have said something. Are you talking about when you're sick? Stick to whole foods? We talking about fasting. When you fast, you don't eat. So why you just gave us a whole dinner plate right here? Catch me up, because I'm lost. Feed a cold, starve a fever is a rule I follow, though. I don't know anything about that, but tell me more. Zep was made for Journey. When I'm sick, I crave junk food like donuts. Wow. I crave nothing when I'm sick. Journey needs an IV drip of Zep. Yep. Journey does. Are we talking about before Zepbound? Before. We can assume that since being on Zepbound, for the most part, people are not going to be hungry anyway. But we're talking about before Zepbound. I am on Manjaro. I had also been using fasting to manage my pre-diabetes diagnosis. Life got hectic and I abandoned fasting and replaced it with comfort food. I ended up with diabetes. Okay, Tara. So let me tell you about what my experience was. So I got really sick. Sidebar, I got really sick in about 2017. I had gained a bunch of weight. I had probably gained about 30 pounds or so, gained a bunch of weight. And it started to literally affect my life. Like, I had chronic sleep issues. I would sleep 15, 16 hours a day. I mean, if I wasn't working, I was asleep. I had fatigue. I was in pain. Again, I developed HS and started to develop boils under my arms. And my doctors basically told me they couldn't help me. I developed mild sleep apnea. And my doctors basically told me that they could not help me. So when I did my own research, I discovered intermittent fasting. When I learned about it, it made sense to me. Again, give your body a break to work on other shit. Okay? Like, I'm saying shit for a reason, because it could be anything. Give your body a break to work on this other stuff. And I needed to lose weight quickly. The only solution that any doctor gave me was to lose weight. They didn't tell me how to do it. They just told me to lose the weight. So I was desperate. I mean, desperate. So fasting came easy to me because I was desperate. I needed to do it. So it was hard that first time. I broke my fast with some Bojangles. I was hungry, but it didn't take long. But I was able to stick with it, like I said, because I was desperate for quick results. And I did get it. Now, Dr. Jason Fung is a nephrologist, which means he's a kidney specialist. and he deals with a lot of diabetics. So I would say about 2015-ish, he started making his, maybe even earlier, but I found him around 2017. So I'm just going back to 2015. He started making his rounds talking about fasting for his diabetic patients because they needed to clear the body of sugar quickly, right? What is diabetes? Type 2. Do we all have an understanding of type 2 diabetes? Just in case we don't, let me go ahead and look up the official definition. Okay. All right. Type 2 diabetes is a condition where the body either doesn't produce enough insulin or can't properly use the insulin it makes, leading to elevated blood sugar levels. Okay. That's the basic understanding for type 2 diabetes. So if your body has too much blood sugar, you got to get rid of it. That's what insulin doesn't get rid of it. Insulin just hides it, right? Because ideally, when our body uses glucose, when our body uses blood sugar, it uses it to fuel our cells. But insulin is the key to get the glucose into our cells, all cells of our body. Insulin is the hormone that removes the glucose, excess glucose from the blood to the cells. It's the key to get the glucose into the cells. Well, when you become a type 2 diabetic, you're now at a point where your insulin isn't working the way that it should, or you're not producing enough of it. So typically, the traditional way of doing things is to just give you more insulin to force that sugar into the cells. Eventually that stops working. They just give you more insulin to force that sugar into the cells, into your organs, into the liver, into this and into that, right? Into the kidneys, in everywhere. You're just forcing it in with the insulin. Well, Dr. Jason Fung, he tells the story of when someone was talking to him about fasting and pretty much said it was a stupid idea. And he kind of questions himself like, well, why is it a dumb idea? He talked about how his diabetic patients never got better. They only got sicker and sicker. And as they got older, they gained more and more weight being on insulin. Insulin is a hormone that will make you store body fat as well. So long story short, he started to incorporate fasting for his patients, which simply means, right, for the diabetics. This is for everybody, but think about it as from the standpoint of a type 2 diabetic first, right? You got a problem with too much sugar. You want the sugar to go away. Step 1, stop putting it in. I don't know why dietitians and nutritionists are telling diabetics to eat sugar and bread and all of that, type 2 diabetics. I'm not a doctor. This is just me speaking. Listen to your doctor. Do what your doctor tells you to do if you so choose. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. This is my stance, okay? I don't know why type 2 diabetics are given the green light to have high carbohydrate diets, because step 1 of a person with a sugar issue, a blood sugar issue, is to stop putting the sugar in. There's no reason why a type 2 diabetic, for the most part, should have a high sugar or high carbohydrate diet, period. There's no reason for that, but do what you do, okay? The second step is to dump the sugar that's already there. And how do you do that? How does your body utilize excess sugar? How does it do it? You stop putting it in, right? So that's potentially a diet change. Potentially. Keto, low carb, whatever, Mediterranean, whatever your choice is, vegan, whatever, right? Carnivore, whatever. That's one way. But not only do you want to stop putting it in, there's still the problem of the sugar that was already put there, and you got to get rid of it because a lot of it has been stored as fat now. Completely different fuel source, completely different storage mechanism. You got glycogen, you got fat, two completely different storage mechanisms. How do you get rid of it? Well, Dr. Jason Fung says the easiest way to get rid of it is to just don't eat and let your body dump it. That's what happens when you start fasting. Now, technically, all of us that are overweight have a blood sugar problem. Like, it may not be as bad as a type 2 diabetic yet, right? Because type 2 diabetes, the marker for it is the hemoglobin A1C, right? That just tells you, all the hemoglobin A1C tells you is how much sugar you've had in your blood in the past. Hemoglobin A1C is 3 months, I think. 3-month time frame. So it can change every 3 months depending on the lifestyle changes that you make. So all it does is give you a 3-month looking back window, right? But so technically, being overweight, you can be overweight and not be diabetic, but that doesn't mean you don't have an insulin and a blood sugar problem. You wouldn't be storing excess body fat if you didn't have the extra sugar to store it, right? Like you're getting the excess body fat from having too much sugar in the body. Okay. So you stop putting it in and then you got to dump it. But how do you dump it? Exercise. That's one way. Glycogen in the muscles. And then eventually your body will move on to the liver, but that's not the most efficient way. If you need quick energy, yes, you get it from your muscles. But how do you dump the sugar, right? Or the body fat that has been stored from eating too much sugar, carbohydrates, whatever? How do you dump it? How do you dump it? I'm going to get caught up on the comments and then y'all can give me your answer on, well, one of y'all following me about the insulin and the type 2 diabetes, right? And the stop putting the sugar in. But the sugar that's already stored, the sugar that's stored in the liver and the fat that's stored in the liver, other organs, and your adipose tissue, how do you get it out? How do you get it out? Because the answer isn't a treadmill to get it out. I promise you that. This is where the calorie people get it wrong. This is where the, this is embarrassing. I eat everything when I'm sick. Journey is not embarrassing. This is why the medicine is needed. Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Vanity. Good evening. Hi, Sydney. Everyone hit the like. Jen, I'm not actually embarrassed. We're all here for the same reason. Journey of Life be trolling. Hi, Canada? Okay. Is it Canada 1 or is it Canada 2? If it's neither, sound it out for me because I'm gonna address this comment and then I want to say your name correctly. What do y'all think? Do y'all think it's Canada as in 1 or Canada as in 2? What do y'all think? Don't make me start a poll. Y'all know I always do this with names because I want to get it right. After watering fasting, I did want to eat everything. I had to be super careful, but then after being careful for a few hours, my cheeses disappeared along with my family bag of Doritos. Hi, Erica. Erica, I saw you on Instagram, girl. You got it going on. I've been waiting to see you again so I could tell you. I'm type 2, but I have to balance carbs with small amounts of sugar because sugar will go too low. Right. Okay. Great point, because I did say I don't know why type 2 diabetics, why it would be recommended for them to eat sugar. But the caveat with that is that, let me ask you something. Let me put it to you like this, Erica, and then I want to get back to this comment. Maybe type 2, Canada. I think it's Canada too. I think it is. So let me ask you, Erica, because I want to get this right. You got to balance the carbs with small amounts. Okay. Because your sugar will go too low. Okay. So how do I put this? Okay. Let's go back to the definition. So type 2 diabetes is a condition where the body either doesn't produce enough insulin or can't properly use insulin it makes, leading to elevated blood sugar levels. Okay. That's what I wanted to clarify. Okay. So type 2 diabetes is not a condition of too low blood sugar, right? It's a condition of too much blood sugar or your blood sugar levels being too high, correct? Now, how do you get to the point where your blood sugar will go too low? Is it the medication? So meaning like you take a medication to lower your blood sugar, right? Because the condition is too high blood sugar. So you take a medication to lower it, but because it can go too low, you then got to eat to get it back up. Let me know if that's correct, Erica. Canada? Oh, maybe Canada? Natural sugar. What's that, Jen? Tell me more. What's natural sugar? All right, so let's address Canada. I think you're right. What do y'all think? Okay. 1, Canada. 2, Canada. 3, Canada. I think you're right, Teddy. I think you're right. I think you might be right. She's probably not here no more. Okay. So where's the comment? Oh no, did she delete it? Where did it go? Oh no, it's right here. Okay. All right. Well, you need sugar in your body to live. It's glucose. Okay. And then it's probably Canada with a K. That's how I've pronounced it first. Okay. And Jen says natural sugar, and natural sugar is fruit. Okay, so these comments are somewhat related, so I'll go in order, and you guys continue to leave your comments. I hope hopefully she'll come back and tell me how to pronounce it. She did delete it. I can still see it on my end. I can see it on my end. Okay, we're gonna address it anyway. I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. Canada? I don't want to know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. Okay. So this is going to be a long stream. Are y'all ready? Who ate dinner already? This is going to be a long one. Y'all are I'm in my element right now if you can't tell. This is going to be a long one. Okay. So, type 1, if you agree with this comment, well, you need sugar in your body to live. It's glucose. Type 1, if you agree. Matter of fact, let's just do a poll. Let's just do a new poll. We'll do this. Let's end the poll. Okay, so we're at 65% no for fasting. Okay, no problem. Let's start a new poll. Okay. So there's the poll. Do we need sugar to live? I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to answer while I'm going to star this because I need to come back to this comment. Okay. So I'm gonna give y'all a couple of minutes to go through and select your answer for the poll. Okay. Hey, Erica. All right. And she did delete it. Okay. Yes, even type 2 can have low blood sugar because of medication and activity levels. Well, Canada with a K. I was right the first time, y'all. Oh my gosh. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for letting us know. I was right the first time. Teddy, get out. You was wrong. I was right the first time. Okay. Typically I get it the second time. Okay. Canada with a K. I love that. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for commenting and thank you for clearing that up. All right. Jen, like, Canada girl, where you go? All right. No, it's okay. It's okay. Canada girl. Oh my God. Thank you. First of all, everybody, sidebar. Okay, Jen, sidebar in clouds, please. Canada, thank you for falling out of the clouds. Girl, okay? Did you have a soft landing? All right? Because I don't want people hurting themselves when they fall out of the clouds. Okay. Oh, my bad. I was wrong. No, I actually thought you were right, Teddy. I said Canada the first time, and I'm like, I don't think I'm saying that right. But it is Canada with a K. I think that's very pretty. All right. So, everyone, welcome Canada. We're going to address Canada's comment, and then I need everyone to go to the poll and vote for, do we need sugar to live? Okay, sugar in the body to be specific. Now, really quickly, back to Erica's comment. What I was getting at, Erica, was the condition of I'll tell you what I was getting at, but I'm not saying I'm correct because I'm not a doctor. But from my understanding, what I was getting at was that because type 2 diabetes is the sugar. Lord, where's the coffee? Wake up, damn it. I will go get a Red Bull. It's sugar-free, but I'll go get it if I have to. When I start mixing up my words, I'm sleepy. Okay. What I was getting at was that based on my understanding, and type 2 being the condition of too much blood sugar, if you don't address it with lifestyle, diet, or medication, you end up in a state of hyperglycemia, which can be dangerous and toxic to the body. So let me look up the definition of hyperglycemia for those that don't know, because I don't want to make sure I'm not telling y'all anything wrong. Okay. Hyperglycemia, also known as high blood sugar, is a condition where there is too much glucose in the blood. It most commonly affects people with diabetes when their blood either doesn't produce enough insulin or can't properly use the insulin it does produce. This can lead to a variety of symptoms and potentially serious health complications if left untreated. Okay, the most common cause of hyperglycemia is diabetes, where the body either doesn't produce enough insulin, type 1, or can't use the insulin properly, type 2. Okay, interesting. So doesn't produce enough is type 1, so they need the insulin. Can't use insulin properly, so you have enough insulin, but it's not being used, type 2. Okay, all right. So what I was getting at was that if you are type 2, the problem is too much blood sugar. It's very unlikely, in my mind, I'm not a doctor, but it's very unlikely that without medication or a high activity diet, I told you I'm tired, high activity lifestyle, right? Without those two things, like you mentioned, it's unlikely that that person would end up in a hypoglycemic state, which is too little blood sugar. Your blood sugar is too low. Okay. Typically, I would think that people that have too much blood sugar only end up in a hypoglycemic state because the blood sugar medication that they're taking, like a metformin or insulin or whatever, is dropping their blood sugar too low. So then they need to eat to get it back up, which is the norm. But that seems like a bit of a vicious cycle, right? Where your blood sugar is too high because of your diet, then you crash it with some medication, then you got to eat again to get it back up, and then you crash it again with your medication, and then you got to eat again to get it back up. It feels like a bit of a vicious cycle to me. All right. But I ain't no doctor, I ain't no genius, I don't know nothing. Okay. But thank you for clearing that up for me, Erica. Okay. My two sisters have been diabetic for decades. They take insulin. Are they type 1 or type 2? It's my understanding that they get lows when their carb intake is too low by way of taking too long to eat or lack of balance. I introduced my older sister to fasting. She took the time to learn her body and is able to fast at 16 hours. Okay, so their carb intake being too low. The point of eating the carbs is to get the sugar up, right? But if they're diabetics, why would their sugar be too low in the first place? If they're type 2. If they're type 2 diabetics, why would their sugar be too low? Their sugar would only be too low if they're taking a medication to drop the blood sugar, is my understanding. But if I'm wrong, y'all help me out. Clear it up. Type 2 is reversible. Yes, like I said, with diet and lifestyle changes and medication. I don't know about the medication part. I think you can manage it with medication, but it takes diet and lifestyle changes to reverse it because a lot of it has to do with your weight as well. Okay. So let's go back to Canada's comment. Thank you, Canada girl. Okay. All right. Let's see where the poll is. We're at 64% yes and 36% no. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna take a break from the comments real quick, but y'all keep talking amongst yourselves. I'll get back to y'all comments in a second. Okay. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this comment is because yes and no. Okay. And I'll explain why. So for those that voted in the poll, the answer is yes. Okay. To glucose. You need glucose. Your ability to have glucose in the body is literally the difference between life and death. Okay. But the thing about it is, yes, you need sugar, but you don't have to eat it. Type 2 diabetics, cover your ears. I ain't talking to y'all. Type 2 diabetics, I ain't talking to y'all. Cover your ears. Okay. So for the human condition, right? We do need glucose. And the other part of this I wanted to address, which goes back to Jen's comment about natural sugar. When you say sugar, you got to specify which one you're talking about. But you did specify glucose. So we got that out of the way. You're talking about glucose because now if you're talking about fructose, the answer is no, Jen. You don't need it at all. It has no use. You don't need it. You could never have another drop of fructose in your life, and you'd live a perfectly healthy life unless you smoke 6 packs of cigarettes a day. Okay. I'm sorry. If anybody here smokes 6 packs a day, I am not attacking you. So glucose, yes, you need it. Fructose, you absolutely do not need it. You need other things from fruit, but you don't need the sugar. Okay. Now, but here's the thing. Here's the other part of Canada's comment. You do need the glucose to live, but you don't have to eat it. You don't have to. You can. I am in the middle. I believe we are omnivores. We can do meat products, which have no carbs. There's no carbs in meats. There's no carbohydrates at all. It's fat and protein and a bunch of nutrients. There's 0 carbs. Steak, 0 carbs, unless you add potatoes to it. Chicken, no carbohydrates at all. 0, zilch. Just like an apple doesn't have any fat in it or any protein, avocados do. Avocados is a fatty fruit, so it's unique in that way. But just like an orange doesn't have any fat or protein, a piece of steak doesn't have any sugar, okay, unless you add it. Now, with that being said, our bodies, if we don't eat our glucose, right, think starch, think processed sugar, right, which is typically glucose and fructose together. If we don't eat it, our bodies will make it. Okay? If we don't eat it, type 2 diabetics, cover your ears. I ain't talking to y'all. If we don't eat it, our bodies will make it. And the reason I'm saying I'm not talking to the type 2 diabetics is not because their bodies can't do this, but they don't got enough time for that when their blood sugar is too low. They don't got enough time to figure that out because hypoglycemia can be dangerous. Having too low blood sugar is life-threatening. So they got to get it up quickly. You don't want to faint. You don't want to lose consciousness. You don't want to do none of that, right? You don't want to be in the middle of driving a car and you ain't ate in 8 hours, but you done took your blood sugar medication or your insulin shot and now you're hypoglycemic and you fuck around and crash the car. Okay? Like I ain't talking to y'all, right? Y'all got to get y'all blood sugar up quick. So again, thank you to Erica's comment. But for everybody else, for the most part, right? Diabetics aside, when you don't put sugar in, your body will create it from what you already have. So the likelihood of an average person having a blood sugar problem is almost zilch. Not a blood sugar problem, but like having specifically like being sick, or I don't want to say the words because I'm on YouTube, but like life-threatening, okay? The likelihood of an average person being in a life-threatening situation because of a lack of glucose in the blood is slim to none because our body is really damn good at what it does, okay? But, for example, let's talk about being hangry, right? We should get our glucose from our diet because it's just easier that way. Like, it's very fast fuel. We shouldn't overdo it, which is what we do. That's why we end up obese. But we should get it from our food because it's quick, it's easy, it's easily accessible. Our body ain't got to wait and go through all of these processes and all of that. But going back to fasting, for those of us that do fast, when we're not putting that glucose in, matter of fact, for everybody, why do you not pass on in your sleep? Okay? Why are we allowed to go to sleep every night without putting in any glucose or any type of food and make it to the next morning if we need glucose that bad? I'm not saying we don't need it. I'm just saying if we're spending 8 to 10 hours not putting it in, our body's making it. Our body's using what we already stored. That's for one, right? In your muscles and in the liver. Your body's using what it already stored. But once that's gone after about 20 hours if you're fasting, why aren't people filling up emergency rooms from fasting during, let's say, Ramadan or whatever, or some extended fasting or whatever? Why aren't people filling up emergency rooms from not eating? We need our glucose and we need it bad. We've already used up the glucose in our muscles. We've already used up the glucose in our liver by 20 to 24 hours. How are people able to fast for 36, 40, 48, 72, a week, a month? How are people able to do, not that I'm recommending that, but how are people able to do that? The body will make the glucose through gluconeogenesis, glucose, new, genesis, creation. The creation of new glucose is the process that your body will go through to give you the glucose that you need to survive if you don't eat it. Okay. So to Canada's comment, yes, we need sugar in your body to live. We do need glucose. You can eat it, but we don't have to. We don't have to. And I'm not even saying we shouldn't. I'm just saying that when we're talking about fasting, we're not gonna croak from not eating glucose. We're not going to. We're not gonna croak from that. And as far as fruit, we don't need that at all. Not that we don't need fruit. Fruit is optional. Fruit is I'm indifferent to fruit. You can have it if you want it. You cannot have it. You're gonna be fine either way. There's a lot of good stuff in fruit, like vitamins and nutrients, but you can get that from vegetables. You don't have to eat fruit. You don't have to. Because fructose, you don't need it. There's no need for it. In fact, so much so that only the liver will process it. That's why fruit is paired with fiber, because Mother Nature is that girl. Mother Nature is that girl. She paired fructose with fiber so that when you eat it, the fiber will slow down the processing of the fructose, because it can only be processed in one place. Whereas the glucose will go everywhere. It'll go to your brain, your organs. It'll go everywhere. It'll go to every cell. All right. Sounds good? Okay. Okay, so both type 1 and type 2 can have low and high blood sugar. We still need glucose to survive. The problem is not just sugar, it's carbs. You've probably cleared this up for me already, Erica. I haven't gone through all the comments. But, okay, one, I just answered this. We do need glucose. Diabetics, when I say you don't need to eat it, I ain't talking to y'all, because diabetes is a condition that is, if you are in a hypoglycemic state, that is life-threatening. You need to get your blood sugar up quickly. But people that are not diabetic don't just end up in a hypoglycemic state. They don't. Our bodies are too good at regulating blood sugar. Diabetics have poor blood sugar regulation. That's why they need insulin. Especially type 1s. Like type 1s, from what I understand, they don't have a choice. Type 2s have multiple options, including insulin. Because type 1s, from my understanding, they don't produce insulin at all. Type 2s, they produce insulin, but it's not working the way that it should. I agree, it's a vicious cycle. And yes, the medications can cause low as well. Yes, your body needs glucose to live. It's a main source of energy, especially for the brain and cells. Absolutely, but your body can make it. It's a process called gluconeogenesis. Your body can and will make it if you don't eat it. That's how people don't die in their sleep. Like, I didn't want to say die on the stream. Sorry, YouTube, but that's how people don't die in their sleep every night, because your body will make it. In your opinion, based on your knowledge of fasting, does a person need to do full fasting for the benefits, or is it okay to do intermittent? Also, what do you think is the difference between the two? So, Canada, I see you commenting. I'm going to get caught up in just a second. So, which benefits? And define full. Okay. So I'm going to respond based on what I think you meant. Okay. There are a plethora of benefits from fasting, starting from like lowering your blood sugar all the way up to autophagy. Like, I would say autophagy would be like the high end, and then a plethora of things in the middle, right? If you just need to lower your blood sugar, then no, you don't have to fast. Like, intermittent fasting is fine. You're just spending, like, if you sleep 8 hours, right? I don't want to say nobody, but maybe it's been so long that I don't remember, but is the average person eating on their way to bed? Or do people typically eat and then there's a few hours before they go to bed? I'm leaning more toward people have dinner and then there's a few hours before they go to bed. So like, you may have dinner or supper at like 7 or 8, or even if you have it late at like 9 or 10, you're going to bed like 2 to 3 hours later. Is that fair or no? But let's say that people are eating dinner at about 8 o'clock and they wake up at about 7 a.m. You've just gone 11 hours without eating anything. If you're looking for autophagy, that's not enough. If you're looking to increase your, what is the muscle human growth hormone? 11 hours isn't enough. But if you're just trying to give yourself a break to lower your blood sugar, 11 hours is like the start. 12, 11 hours would be like the start of like being able to lower your blood sugar. Because the thing about it is, if you don't give your body time to empty out the glycogen stores in your muscles in the first like 14 to 16 hours, you're just going to add sugar right back in as soon as you start eating in the morning. You're just going to add it right back in. You know what I mean? So that's why typically it's about 12 hours or more, maybe 14 a minimum. But it would depend, to go back to your comment, Teddy, it would depend on what benefit you're looking for, why you're doing it. If you're talking about fat burning, you got to go longer. If you're talking about, like I said, lower blood sugar, then maybe not as long. So it depends on which benefits you're looking for. If you're looking for a reduction in like inflammation to address pain, then you probably got to go a little bit longer. And to address the second part about what's the difference between the two, just the amount of time. It's literally a choice in the amount of time that you choose not to eat. I know people like to say when you sleep, you're fasting. You're not fasting, you're just asleep. Let's just be serious, okay? Technically, yes, okay, you're fasting, but really, like, it's just, you're just asleep, okay? And your body's doing what it needs to do to keep you alive, okay? Once you get beyond that, about 8 to 10 hours of sleep, or however long y'all sleeping, maybe 6, I don't know. The whole point, like on like the amount of time you continue on after that is totally up to you. It's up to you. So it depends. The difference between intermittent and extended or full fasting is just the length of time. So intermittent would mean I fast for this time and I eat during this time. I fast for this time and I eat during this time. Or I eat for this time and I don't eat. I eat for this time and I don't eat, right? For about 14 to maybe 18, 20 hours, something like that. Once you start to get to 24 or more, I would consider that somewhat extended fasting. If that answers your question, Teddy, let me know. Okay. If you eat no glucose or carbs, your body switches to using fat for energy. It breaks down fat into ketones, which your brain and body can use instead. This is called ketosis. Yes, I've talked about this before. I'm very familiar with ketosis. So thank you for sharing that. And so alongside, okay, so here's the point, Canada. Almost said Canada. Here's the point, Canada. This is correct. But do you think that just because you're in ketosis, glucose no longer matters? No, your body is making glucose that you still need alongside the glucose, alongside the ketones. It's taking a glycerol molecule, which is a type of fat molecule, and it strips off the backbone of the molecule. It strips the glucose off the fat molecule. That's gluconeogenesis. It takes the glycerol, right? The glycs would be the glucose, and I guess the overall would be the fat, like cholesterol. So it takes the glycerol, your body, and it'll strip the glucose from the molecule and then use it. That's how it works. But over time, it can stress organs if not managed properly. What, ketones? If you fast for too long, it could affect glucose. How? Canada, are you a doctor? Yes, I'm going to be an anesthesiologist. Congratulations. Yes, correct. Yes, correct. And sorry, my comments have a delay. That's okay. No, it's not you. You're not delayed. It's me. I'm behind. Yes, you fast while you sleep, and you break your fast, and you break your fast when you eat in the morning. That's why it's called breakfast. Okay, you're fasting. You're fasting because you're not eating. Like, respectfully, what are you talking about? Okay, Canada, congratulations. That's awesome. Thank you. Okay, what do you mean? What am I talking about? Which part? Because I said when you're asleep, you're not fasting. Right after that, I said, okay, technically you are, but I don't consider that. Like, if that's the case, then everybody fasts. And if you want to go with that, then sure. Then there's no complaint, right? If you're fasting when you're asleep, then everybody's fasting. Then what's the argument against fasting? Then that's the end of the conversation. But because people aren't going to accept that as a good enough answer, that's why I said, okay, we don't even got to go down the road of like, oh, you fast when you sleep. People are not going to accept that. People are going to push back against that, which is fine. Push back. But I'm just saying, like, everybody sleeps. most people don't die in their sleep because the body knows what to do when you're not eating. So if you go a little bit longer without eating, right? I'm not saying never eat again because then you will die. I'm not saying never eat again, but especially if we're obese, right? Because and I don't think you ever answered the question on whether or not you're on a GLP-1. So you can let us know if you would like, but if not, no problem. But for the people that are on GLP-1s for weight loss, a lot of us are starting out from obesity, right? So when we're discussing fasting, right now we're discussing it from the pro-fast people and the anti-fast people, and then why either side feels the way that it does. And I'm on the pro-fasting side. So when we talk about being obese and fasting, you want your body to eat what you've already stored. You want your body to burn, right? Let's go back to the ketosis comment. If you eat no glucose or carbs, your body switches to using fat for energy. It breaks down fat into ketones, which is a byproduct of fat burning, which your brain and body can use instead. This is called ketosis. No disagreement there, but your body is still using glucose. Your body's still using it. So I'm just saying, the whole point in me saying all of this was to say, when it comes to fasting, the whole point, if you're doing it for weight loss, the whole point of a fast is to trigger that fat burning. Now, can you trigger it like keto? Can you trigger it by just lowering your carbs enough? Absolutely. You can do that. You can do that. But there are additional benefits to the not eating that you don't get from keto. So keto would be the next step above, so fasting would be a step above keto, right? So there would be like keto where they still eat produce, so they're still getting some carbohydrates. There'll be carnivore with I'm not saying in order of what's better. I'm just saying in order of lowering the blood sugar, right? There'll be carnivore where there's no carbohydrates at all, right? Why aren't the carnivores dropping dead? Because the body will make the glucose. They don't eat glucose. They don't eat it at all, ever. Carnivores. They just eat meat, protein, and fat. That's it. Maybe some electrolytes. But they never eat carbohydrates, ever. So when we talk about needing glucose, LOL, that was essentially like the laughing emoji, like, LOL, what are you talking about? We do need glucose. I never said we didn't need it. All I said was that we don't have to eat it. We can eat it. It's not going to kill you if you eat it. In fact, it might help you. But if you don't eat it, you'll be okay too. Diabetics, don't listen to me. Cover your ears. I ain't talking to y'all. I ain't talking to y'all, okay? All right. No, I know people who are, and I'm supporting the channel and great content. You know people who are, what, fasting? No, I know people who are, and I'm supporting the channel and great content. I missed something. I know people who are. I missed something. Okay. Clear that up for me. I must have missed something. Okay. All right. And Jen, I did see your comment before about should a person work up to fasting longer and longer? What is the goal? What is the goal for your fasting? That's the answer to the question. It's completely optional, right? So I'll put it to you like this. Oftentimes fasting gets compared to or correlated. Oh, okay. The only reason I was asking is because a lot of us are starting from the position of being overweight. So there's a little bit of a different mindset. But even some of us over here don't agree with fasting. Like if you looked at the poll, most of the people said no to fasting. So that's fine. Thank you, Michelle. Okay. Yes, I did. All right. So back to, oh yeah, no, everyone here isn't on a GLP-1. I ask everyone new that comes if they're on a GLP-1 or if they're on a weight loss journey, what your starting weight is, current weight, goal weight, all of that. I asked everyone that question. So I meant no offense by it. Okay. So back to Jen's question of should a person lean toward fasting longer and longer? It depends on what that person's goal is. If that person does not care about autophagy, then no. Why are you fasting longer and longer? You don't care about that portion, right? Like you don't have to do that. But does that mean you can't give your body a break from digesting food every once in a while for about 18 hours? So from like 8 p.m. to about what would that be? 12 p.m. the next day. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. No, that would be about 2 p.m. So 16 to 18. I'll say 12 to 2. So no. If a person wants to learn how to fast for an extended period of time for whatever reason, health, religious reasons, a challenge for them, whatever reason they want to do it, autophagy, for an injury like, oh my God, I forgot her name. Someone said an injury earlier. It was, what's her name? I'm sorry. I'm scrolling. Okay, I'm so sorry. But the person that said injury earlier. Okay. So no, the answer isn't no. The answer is it depends. It depends. Whether or not a person should fast longer and longer. It really depends on what their goal is. For me, the longest I've ever fasted was about 48 would be 2 days. 72 is 3. I think I made it to 60 hours, 64 or something like that. At that time, I was just testing how, like, I was new to fasting. So I had done 12, 14, 18, 24, 36. And then I went from not back to back, but this was like over the course of like several months. And then when I went from when I got to a 36, I stayed at a 36 for a while. So I would do a 36-hour fast every week. Like, I wouldn't eat every day. There would be times where I would eat every other day. And it was just kind of, it was easy to me at that time. Now, not so much, because it's been a while. I'm out of practice. And then I went to about 60 something hour fast, maybe 64, 68 hours, something like that. And the reason that I did it is because I was testing. I was aiming to get to a 3-day. I was testing how long I could fast to see what it felt like. I was after autophagy. And it was an experience. I haven't done it again since, but I would like to. It's just hard. Like, it's hard when you're out of practice. But is that for everybody? No. Like, can everybody do an 18 and be okay? Like, can everybody stop eating at 8 p.m. and start eating at 2 p.m. again the next day? Sure. Should everybody? It's up to them. It's up to you. Maybe not kids, because, kids are still growing, right? Kids are still growing, so they need the nutrients. There's no reason for them to fast. But once you're done growing, you're okay to take a break away from food. Like, you're perfectly fine to do that, especially if you have excess body weight. That's the quickest way to get it off. It's quicker than a GLP-1, but it's not easy and it's not fun. And it's annoying. It's actually quite annoying. Like, I'm not glorifying fasting. I feel like fasting is an incredibly powerful tool. Just like I feel like GLP-1s are a powerful tool. Just like I feel like weightlifting is a powerful tool. But it's annoying. Like, fasting is annoying. I was fasting last night and I was annoyed because I got hungry and I wanted to eat. But I'm after something more than just satiety in that moment. So I decided to fast. I decided to finish out my fast. So I just wanted to get back to that question for you, Jen. You do that all the time. Are you talking about 8 p.m. to 2 p.m.? Is that what you meant? The longest I went was a 30-day water fast. Why did you go 30 days, Jen? I mean, Michelle, why did you go 30 days? Every time I say something wrong, I start drinking my coffee, like trying to wake up, but it's watered down. It ain't gonna help. I'm gonna go get me a Red Bull in a second. What was the reasoning behind the 30 days? That's a long time. Because I've been diagnosed with insulin resistance and pre-diabetic, I periodically wear a CGM, something glucose monitor. Now that I'm taking Zepbound, it regulates my glucose. Yeah, that's what Zepbound does. It regulates your blood sugar. Then, Jen, I'm sorry, you're not anti-fasting, dear. Go ahead and change your vote in that poll. Oh, it's too late. I took it down. You're not anti-fasting, Jen. You are fasting at about 18 hours. About roughly 8 p.m. to 2 p.m. is about 18 hours. You're only 6 more hours away from 24, but not to say you got to do 24 at all. I taught my cousin about fasting when I first learned it, and we both dropped a bunch of weight, and my cousin has been doing it ever since. And my cousin has a stance I'm not going past an 18 hour, or is it 16? 8 to 2, or is it 8 to 12? It's about a 16. My cousin refused to go beyond a 16 hour continuous glucose monitor. Okay. All right. Refuses, which is fine. I try to convince my cousin all the time, like, just go to like a little 18, 20. Nope. Which is fine. It's okay. It's fine. It's not mandatory. It's totally optional. It's totally optional. Hey everyone. Hey Delilah. Okay. So now that I've covered diabetes type 2 specifically. I don't know a whole lot about type 1, but it's very similar, but not quite. Well, yeah, no, it's very similar, but different. like diabetes in general is a blood sugar problem. It's a blood sugar problem. It's an insulin problem and a blood sugar problem. One is a lack of insulin. One is you have the insulin, but it's not doing what you need it to do. Okay. All right. I do have a coffee. Do I need it? No. My coffee is a watered down iced caramel coffee with cream. No extra sugar other than the caramel. This is my glucose and my fructose. This is completely useless. This is pure and utter habit. That's it. This is pure and utter habit. I don't get anything from this but joy. I get nothing from, that's why I'll drink it even when it starts to get watery. I get nothing from this but joy. This does nothing for me. Nothing for my energy at all. Like, I drink so much coffee that a regular cup of coffee does nothing for me. Like this, it does nothing for me. It has too much ice in it for me to actually get any type of like caffeine benefits from it. Congrats on your 30-day fast, Michelle. The longest I fast for is 72 hours. I would like to do a 72. It's just going to take me some time to get there because, okay, so let's talk about, okay, so Jen, so earlier, oh, okay, that's up. Well, I don't like black coffee anyway. I like black coffee with sugar, so it's no longer black, right? So Jen, you also said earlier, diet culture. We're supposed to be running away from diet culture. That's why I would say the first quarter contrasting fasting from diet culture. It's like virtually the opposite of diet culture. It's not eating. It's not counting. It's not exercising. It's not changing what you eat. Diet culture is all about picking a particular tribe to be a part of, whereas fasting is about, it don't matter which tribe you're a part of. Fasting can be a part of your life if you so choose. It's optional, okay? So now with that being said, you had said earlier in the first stream, we're supposed to be running away from diet culture. And I agree, right? That's why you're anti-fasting, because you associate it with diet culture and we're supposed to be running away. And you talked about fasting, low fat, and keto, right? Which are all three completely different things and three completely, totally different outcomes. Keto and fasting are closer together if you're talking about blood sugar. But keto and low fat are closer together if you're talking about diet culture. Poor keto just getting pulled left and right. Poor keto. Okay. I like mine with cream and sugar. I like some coffee with my cream, if that makes sense. I like some coffee with my cream and sugar. Okay. So diet culture is definitely toxic because it stems from calorie counting. Calorie counting is the basis for everything diet culture. Everything comes back to calories, which makes me say, okay, F calories. Shoo calories, go away. We don't care about you. Which is not technically true, okay? It's not technically true. Do calories count? I hate saying yes because people will take that and run with it. It was Tara. Tara was the one that talked about pain. I'm sorry, Tara, I have forgot your name. I think fasting at some point become a part of diet culture in a trendy kind of way. Tara, were you here when we covered fad and trend earlier? We talked about the definitions of both, okay? So it's interesting that you made that comment. Knowing how people take their coffee. Okay. What? No, what? What you mean? What that say about me? I like more cream than I like coffee. What you trying to say? What you trying to say? Okay. So Tara thinks that fasting will become a part of diet culture. I don't think it can. I think they're very different things. I think they attract very different people. Like, for example, okay. So per the title, I said fad, but we looked it up and fad was like in the range of like a few weeks to a year. And it contrasted trend, which is like over time. And I said, I'll guesstimate a trend is like a decade to a generation, maybe a decade to a generation, which is 20 years. But I don't think fasting can be a part of diet culture because they're too different. Diet culture is about what you eat and what you do to counteract what you eat. So what you eat, how many calories, they don't even care where the calories come from. That's the thing I hate about the calorie counters. They don't care where the calories come from as long as you cut them. They don't care where the calories come from. A donut is equivalent to broccoli for calorie counters, okay? For average calorie, I'll say calorie cutters, okay? For calorie cutters, calorie counters that focus on cutting. Calorie counters with a specialty and focus in cutting, they don't care where the calories come from as long as you cut them. They don't care. They don't address or even acknowledge the hormonal side. They don't address or acknowledge the hormonal differences and responses between a donut and a piece of broccoli, a cookie and a bowl of rice. Or no, I'll say a cookie and a piece of steak, a bowl of rice and a piece of chicken. They don't acknowledge that there's a difference. How much calories do they have? If they have the same amount of calories, they are the same. I disagree, and I can back that up. Okay. Now, as far as fasting becoming a part of diet culture, the reason why I don't think that is the case, even though it's associated that way, is because I don't think you can associate a way of eating with not eating at all. They're different. They're polar opposites. Diet culture is about what you eat. Fasting is about the timing in which you eat, it's more so about the timing in which you're not eating, right? It's about the timing and how long you go without eating. That's what fasting is about versus starvation, which is having zero control over when you're going to get your next meal. So I wanted to cover that for the people that correlate fasting with starving yourself. Okay. I would even go out on a limb, and it's not on a limb, but it would take some pushback for me to like really get into it. But I'd go out on a limb and say calorie cutters are closer to starvation than fasters. Now, I'm going to put another poll up, right? And this will determine whether or not I need to go down this rabbit hole. So, do we need sugar to live? Came out at 63%. The answer was yes. Okay, we do need it, but your body can make it. So, even if you don't eat it, your body knows what to do. Diabetics, cover your ears. Don't listen to me. Okay, I ain't talking to y'all. All right, so let's do another poll. All right. What was the question? I'm talking about calorie. How do I want to ask it? I'm asking about cutting calories. Oh, okay. Which is closer to starvation? You know what? I may have to ask this in a different way. Okay, no, let's do it like this. Which is closer to starvation? Under eating, fasting. Is there a third option? I don't even think there's a third option. What do y'all think? Is there a third option? Let's say neither. Let's say neither. Okay. All right. Did I put a question mark? I forgot the question mark, but y'all know it's a question. Okay. Which is closer to starvation? Go ahead and vote in the poll. Coffee is a dessert. Don't let nobody shame you, Sydney. Coffee is a dessert, child. It is. I like the coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. I even started making it at home. The caramel craze. It is a sugar bomb abomination. Okay. It is the work of the devil, but it's so good. Okay. It is coffee. It's a latte, actually. It's a caramel latte, iced caramel latte. Maybe you can get it hot, but it's an iced caramel latte with cold foam, or is it whipped cream? I think it's whipped cream. Oh man, I forgot. The caramel craze. It's a iced caramel latte with, I think, whipped cream, caramel drizzle, and cinnamon sugar sprinkled on top. That is of the devil. It's so good. It is so good. It is such a sugar bomb. I agree with at Tara. There are entire organization groups who regularly use fasting as a form of dieting. They use water fasting, dry fasting, juice fasting. What the hell is a juice fast? Sydney, tell me more. See, in this, okay, you know what? This is what makes people say that that fasting is a part of diet culture. So I see what y'all are saying here. There's no, hear me out, and push back if you would like to in the comments, anybody. But go ahead and vote in the poll. Go vote in the poll. There is no such thing as a juice fast. That is an oxymoron. Okay? Now, I know people say that, Sydney, so I'm not talking to you. But just to clarify, there is no such thing as a juice fast. There is no such thing as a juice fast. That is an oxymoron. Okay? With that being said, I know what people mean, but there's no reason to call it a fast. A fast is 0 calories, nothing, not even juice. No, it's not. That's what they say it is. So Sydney says juice fasting is drinking only fresh made juices for a period of time. That's not a fast. That's just a juice diet. That's just a juice diet. It's not a fast. There is no such thing as a juice fast. I get that people call it that, but that's wrong. That's wrong. There's a water fast and there's a dry fast. The things that they have in common, 0 calories. You eat nothing, which allows your body to have a particular hormonal response. Once you add a drop of anything, bone broth, juice, cream in your coffee, once you add anything, it is technically no longer a fast. Now, when I do the Venetian fast, right? When we all fast, whoever does it on the channel, I say, if you need it, right? If you're new and you need it, you can add tea and coffee, but that's technically not a fast. But because those things have 0 calories, you're not going to get a hormonal response. Black coffee has 0 calories and green tea has 0 calories. So you can still get the effects of fasting by adding those things because they have 0 calories. But if the tea is like a little sweet, I wouldn't recommend it, right? But technically fasting, Sydney's like, I just go here. I just go here. But for the people in the back, there is no such thing as a juice fast. Just say you're drinking juice and juice only for 30 days, 7 days, 24 hours, whatever you're doing. You're just juicing. That's it. No fast. You're just juicing. Okay. I don't know who came up with this and started telling people this. There is no such thing as a juice fast. We just start throwing words together, not us here, but the people that be doing stuff. Just start throwing words together that don't go together. There is no such thing as a juice fast at all. You're just juicing. That's it. That's what you're doing. You're just juicing. I've seen people that utilize fasting and tracking. I say trendy because of the different ways of absolutely. And Tara, it's incorrect on top of that. Trendy because of the different ways of fasting. There aren't different ways of fasting. You either fast or you don't. There are no different ways of fasting. You are either fasting or you are not. So you're either drinking only water, recommended, or no water, not recommended because there's no reason to remove your hydration. Tea and coffee, less recommended, but that's not an official fast, but you can still get the fasting benefits because those things have 0 calories. But if you want to do a true fast, a technically true fast, you would just have water. I don't know why people do dry fasting. That ain't my lane. There's no reason to deprive yourself of hydration. There's literally no reason for it at all. Like there's no reason for it. No reason. I can't think of one reason to deprive yourself of water. Any trending one category of eating is now referred to as blank fasting, sugar fasting, juice fasting, water fast. What the Delilah, what is a sugar fast? What is that? What is a sugar fast? What is that? What is that? What is a sugar fast? You can only pick one, Delilah. I've done a mono fruit diet before. Is it mono poop? I'm confused. I don't do well with choices, Journey. I'm one of those people who would opt out then choose. Yeah, less is more. I'm surprised I didn't turn into a grape. Yeah, less is more. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no reason to separate fasting into multiple categories that don't exist. Fruit fast, juice fast, vegetable fast, like even right? I do something, or I used to do something that I called a fat fast, but I knew it wasn't a fast, right? So what that meant was when I was done with my water fast, I would not do this now on Zepbound probably because, Zepbound, you have a little issues with the fat. But before Zepbound, I would break my fast with a keto style diet that was like high in fat and protein, 0 carbs. So I am eating, but the foods that I'm eating won't spike my insulin. So the protein with fat won't spike my insulin. So I would consider that a fat fast. But that's me just being funny with words. I know it's not a fast. It's really not. It's not once you start eating, it's no longer a fast. Once you start drinking anything, it's no longer a fast. They have Daniel's fast that lots of people do. Daniel's fast. I don't know what that is. People are labeling everything a fast. Yeah, no. Oddly enough, dry fasting is easier for me than water fasting. But why no hydration, Tara? Tell me more. A sugar fast is only eating high sugar foods. You're joking. That's not a real thing, Delilah. Y'all are joking. That's not a real thing. What? I think a cat is coming down the stairs. Y'all are for real? A sugar fast is only eating high sugar foods. But why would a person do that? Why would somebody do that? Yes, she did. She looks like she lost weight in her picture, doesn't she? I think we call something a fast anytime we are abstaining from something. Yeah, but that's not technically how that works. So, I mean, you can do what you want to do, but that's not a fast. Like, so Teddy, when I'm talking about fasting, I'm talking about 0 everything. 0, nothing. Because that's the only way you will get the benefits that I'm talking about. Once you start giving your digestive tract something to do, you are not fasting. You are just dieting. And if you want to diet, that's fine. Do what you do. What the hell is I gotta look this up. I gotta look it up. Sugar fast. I gotta look it up. What? I see fast sugar, or is AI getting that wrong? Typically refers to foods or drinks that are high in simple carbohydrates and can quickly raise blood glucose levels. They are often used to treat hypoglycemia or to provide quick energy boosts. Examples include, so no, that's not what we're talking about. That's fast sugar. I want to know a sugar fast. So this says the 40-day sugar fast, and it's a book on Amazon where physical detox meets spiritual transformation. Many of us think that if our bodies become healthier, then we'll be healthier, but a healthy body doesn't do us a lot of good if we are spiritually malnourished. Welcome to the 40-day sugar fast, a process that begins with us giving Jesus our sugar and ends with Jesus giving us more of himself. Is that what y'all talk? I don't think that's what y'all talking about. Hold on. I don't see it. Are y'all sure that's a real thing? Fasting by only eating high sugar foods. I don't see that. During Lent, there is something called Ninwa. Is that how you say it? Ninwa fast, where you basically dry fast for 3 days, and I can never do it. But why? I'm waiting for like the answer to why the no hydration or lack of hydration? Thank you. It's about 180-pound difference from the old one and the new one. Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, it's a great pick. Thanks, Teddy. No, that's a no refined sugar fast. What did you say, Jesus? It's not me, Sydney. That's what that book said. It said give Jesus the sugar, their sugar. That's what it said. Let me go back. It says, welcome to the 40-day sugar fast, a process that begins with us giving Jesus our sugar and ends with Jesus giving us more of himself. The only thing that can ever truly satisfy our soul's deep hunger. On this journey, you'll learn how to stop fixating on foods and fix your eyes on Christ, pinpoint the triggers that send you running to sugar, lose weight as you gain faith, turn to the Most High instead of the next sugar high. That's what it says. So I thought that's what y'all were talking about, but I'm like, that can't be right. I don't think that'll work for me. I don't understand the point of that. Sugar diet. Let me see. Sugar diet. A sugar diet, a diet very high in sugar, or a diet focused on reducing or eliminating sugar. So, okay, is the sugar fast about eating more sugar or eating less? Is it a fast from sugar or a fast to eat more sugar? I'm confused. Yeah, it's a real trend right now. I'm lost. I'm out of the loop. So it's a sugar diet, not a sugar fast. Well, the same thing with the juice. It's a juicing diet. It's not a juice fast. No such thing. It started out being called sugar diet. Now it's more known as the sugar fast. I have no idea. If that means me eat more high processed sugar, I'm not sure why that would be a thing. I'm not really sure why that would be a thing. I wish you could hear the way I'm laughing right now. We can if we listen to one of your videos. Do you laugh on YouTube? So we can just eat Sour Belts all day. I'm down. I like Sour Patch Kids. But y'all, I haven't had candy since before June. I gave up candy and soda in June, and I haven't had any since. It's a metaphor. So what does it really mean? The trending sugar fast right now is only eating high refined sugars. Okay, so let me look up sugar diet, only eating high sugar foods. Maybe AI needs a little help. AI is a little slow. No, I'm only seeing cut sugar. I did the sugar diet. Hold up, I found a YouTube video. Hold on, what does it say? Oh, I think I found it, Lord. Oh, we're about to have a live reaction. Oh my God, everybody strapping. I think I found it. I dry fast during Ramadan. During a regular fast, as soon as I have water, I get super hungry unless I add a pinch of salt. Oh, okay. You know what? I drink water to control my appetite during the fast. If I get hungry, I drink water to suppress my appetite. It's interesting that drinking water makes you hungry. Okay, I was just curious. Okay, cool. During Lent, I used to give up sugar. It would be rough. It's a diet. You heard him. Hi, Pat. The sugar diet was trending on YouTube for a while. Thank you for falling out of the clouds, Pat. How long have you been watching? Let us know if you're on a GLP-1 or not. No problem. And if you're on a weight loss journey, let us know your starting weight, current weight, and goal weight. That's great. No soda or candy since June. Michelle, I want a Sour Patch Kid. I want Sour Patch Kids really bad. Now, this is where Jen will say, just have it in moderation, except I can't moderate candy. I cannot. Once I eat it, it's forever. Candy is forever like diamonds are forever. Coke Zero is forever like diamonds are forever. Oh, yeah, I'm going to play it. It's a thing because they were trying to prove that only eating sugar in a deficit. Oh, I hate the calorie deficit. I'm sorry, I don't hate y'all. But I hate the calorie deficit mindset. It's only insulin sensitive people doing it. Tara, can you tell me more about the added salt? That's for electrolytes, Teddy. Tara, that sounds like dehydration. Well, let's let Tara tell us more. I also pinned the link if anybody would like to come up and talk. You do not have to have your camera on. StreamYard will ask you to give you access to your camera, but you can turn it off once you will provide access to your camera and your mic. And you can just talk with your avatar. So if anybody would like to come up, just go ahead and click the link that's pinned. I hope I still have it pinned. Okay, so Tara, tell us more. Delilah says that sounds like dehydration. I guess it depends on how long you're doing it for. And Teddy wants to know more about the added salt. But I can tell you right now, Teddy, the salt is for electrolytes. That's what it's for. Sodium is an electrolyte. It's because many people confuse thirst for hunger. Adding salt replaces the lost electrolytes. I don't know about the confusing thirst for hunger. I used to think that too, but I actually heard that that was a myth. So I don't know. I don't really think about it like that anymore. I just drink water to suppress my appetite when I'm hungry during the fast. And sometimes it's not even genuine hunger, it's a craving. So just like putting a straw in my mouth will help. Like drinking water through a straw will help because it's allowing me to feel like active, like I'm doing something. It's not pinned. Okay. All right. Let me do it again. And then we'll review the video. What am I trying to do? No, that's wrong. What am I doing? Okay. All right. How many? So we got about 4 or 5 people commenting, but 17 people watching. Don't be shy. Come out of the clouds and say hello. Let me know how everyone is doing, or just let me know where you're watching from, and then I'll let you go back to the land of sky people. Okay. But don't be shy. I do pick out. I try to read all of the comments, and sometimes I do go more into detail for certain comments. But I promise, none of it is an attack. I might have a little bit of a strong energy, but at the end of the day, we're all a little vain over here. Okay, this is a vain family. All right. So as long as you're a little vain, you will fit right in. And if you're not vain yet, don't worry. We will get you there. Girl, guy, girl, don't matter who you are. We will get you there. Okay. All right. So I just pasted the link. Let me pin it. Let me pin it, child. Okay, so if anybody wants to come up, feel free to click the link and you can turn your camera on, you can turn it off, whatever you prefer. Yes, so if you don't have any electrolytes, you just place a pinch of sea salt on your tongue or in a cup of water. Just like people confuse cravings or wants or even boredom for hunger, yes. I've been watching for about 3 weeks. I started compound semaglutide in January and switched to Zepbound in June. Wait, so you went from compound semaglutide to brand Zepbound? How was your transition? Tell us more. Are you happy with it? You switched to, okay, so it's been about a month. Are you happy with your transition and what made you switch? If I'm making you work too hard, don't worry. You can go back to the land of sky people. But I'm curious. I don't think we have a lot of people that switch from semaglutide, whether it's brand or compound, to Zepbound. I don't think I've seen that a lot, but I could be mistaken. So let me know how your transition has worked out for you and tell me why you decided to switch. Okay. Hi, Pat. Welcome to the Zepbound family. Sydney, that's a bit exclusive. Okay. We are a vein family, so you can be a part of the family whether you're on Zepbound or not. Okay. You can be on semaglutide, you can be on Wegovy. We know that Zepbound works better though. You could be on none. You could be on none. Okay. Just as long as you're a little vain. But yes, you know what? Yes, you are absolutely right, because we got someone from compound semaglutide to Zepbound. That sounds like one hell of a switch. Now, if somebody went from Zepbound to semaglutide or Wegovy, I'd be like, why'd you do that? Like, are you sure? That's a little judgy. I judge sometimes. I'm sorry. Okay. Yes, tell us more. Tell us more. Tell us more. Okay, so Teddy wants to try the salt. I struggle with the salt, so oftentimes I just push through it, but it does help if you can stand the taste. I cannot stand putting salt in my water, so I don't do it. And I do recommend drinking it warm. That'll make it easier. If you do the sea salt, don't do iodized table salt. Do pink Himalayan salt or sea salt. And that'll help with some of the symptoms of the fast, like the headache, because a lot of that comes from electrolyte imbalance, the fatigue. Some of that is going to come from withdrawals from the sugar, right? But some of that is an electrolyte imbalance because when you start fasting, you will lose water in your electrolytes. So you do want to replenish. My friend switched from tirzepatide to semaglutide. It didn't go well for her. That sounds like a rough transition from tirzepatide to semaglutide. I'm not sure why someone would do that, but I would love to know if anyone has done it. Can people be on Contrave? I'm not really sure what that is. What is Contrave? What is Contrave? What is that? Oops. Contrave, naltrexone, an extended release fixed dose combination medication for chronic weight management. Oh, Teddy, this ain't no Zepbound exclusive channel. I'm just on Zepbound. People could be on whatever they want or nothing at all. I be trying to tell y'all, like my sister and my cousin that I do these weight loss challenges with, they not on anything. They just do it the natural way. They're the normies, okay? They're the normies. But people can be on whatever they want. I don't know anything about Contrave. This is the first I'm hearing about it. But I'm just sharing my GLP-1 experience, so I attract people that are on GLP-1s. But like Canada was saying earlier, she's not on GLP-1. She just supports the channels. So I hope she didn't take offense to what I was responding to about the comment. But no, you could be on whatever you want to be on. I ain't your doctor. I ain't your doctor, Telly. I ain't your doctor, Teddy. Literally, why would you do that? But I think it was for money reasons. Okay. I did talk about that, right? I said, you know what? I heard people were switching to semaglutide for maintenance. That sounded a little, like if they get Wegovy down to 199 all doses, that sounds enticing. That's probably the only way I would try it. Contrave is so expensive, Teddy. Be part of the family. Why did she make the switch, Journeys? Oh, it sounds like probably money. Really been seeing people talk about it lately. Do we need to talk about it? Caremark is forcing people. Hope they get a class action lawsuit against them for this action. Get rid of PBM. They are not doctors. Contrave and GLP-1. I don't know anything about Contrave. Y'all are schooling me right now. Pink or Celtic, or is it Celtic? I think it's Celtic. Lord, Celtic. Pink or Celtic salt is amazing. David works outdoors, and in Texas heat, he would run through Gatorade. Okay. He would run through Gatorade after Gatorade, and I made him switch to salt under his tongue, and he no longer suffers. Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm just being facetious. Right back at you, Teddy. Sydney, I think it was just affordable for her because her husband wanted to be on a GLP-1 too. So 2 people on tirzepatide was too expensive. Who's David? Is that your husband? Partner? I haven't been watching your channel long enough to know. Is that who you're talking about? Okay. People can be on whatever they want or nothing at all. You said it's Celtic? Oh, with an S. Okay. All right. So let's get to this video about the sugar diet from 2 months ago. I can't believe this went over my head, but I don't have like a diet-based algorithm. I don't. I like to watch body cam videos. If y'all ever hear me say I was just watching YouTube, I'm probably watching court cases, like from recordings in the courtroom. Those are so good. And body cam footage. I love that. Humans are fascinating. I like to people watch. All right, so let me share my screen. You guys can continue to talk amongst yourselves. We're going to get through this video real quick. And like I said, this is going to be a long one. I highly doubt people are going to come back and watch this because it's going to be so long, but it's fine. It's just for the people that are here right now. We're rocking out, especially since I won't be here tomorrow because it is a no day. How is everyone doing with their non-negotiables? Prioritizing your rest, your hydration. Yeah, how's everyone doing? Exercise, accountability, right? And then before that, we talked about positive self-talk. How's everyone doing with that while I share my screen? Okay, I did the sugar diet, so let's share that one. And then let's look at the poll. All right. So, which is closer to starvation? Undereating, fasting, or neither? 36% said neither, 9% said fasting, 55% said undereating. So let me just clear this up really quickly. So the answer, and I'm not a doctor, so feel free to contradict me, but for me, the answer is under eating because of the hormonal responses from the two, right? So the reason that starvation mode is a self-preservation mode, right? When you have no control over, like, you're not getting enough nutrients, so your body tries to preserve as much as possible until it has no choice but to use up what it has, right? Now, when you're under eating, when you're not getting enough calories, this is where the calorie counters get it wrong. When you are constantly focusing on a deficit, your body is smarter than you. Your body will decide, you know what? It's been a few weeks or a few months where we've been dropping weight and not getting enough sustenance to sustain us. That's it. We're done. Like, let's say your typical basal metabolic rate is 2,200 calories, right? That's just what you burn by doing nothing throughout the day. And then you cut that down to about 1,500 calories because you're trying to lose weight. You will lose weight at first. It will work at first. Calories in, calories out. It will work at first. Okay. It may be 3 months, it may be 6 months, it may be a year, whatever. It will work at first. But ultimately, as that weight falls off and you keep eating 1,500 calories, your body will drop your metabolic rate to below 1,500 for self-preservation. You cannot starve your body by constantly cutting calories and expect your body to take that laying down. It will not. It will drop what you burn from 2,200, which is phenomenal. That's a wonderful amount of calories that you can burn by doing nothing, right? If you constantly undereat, your body will drop below what you're eating, and then you will start to regain the weight. So if you're burning 22 but only eating 15, your body will plummet to about maybe 1,400 calories. So that now your deficit becomes a surplus. Your body's smarter than you. Don't do that. Give it what it needs. Give it what it needs, okay? You will trick your body into thinking that you are starving if you undereat, okay? When it comes to fasting, your basal metabolic rate is preserved, okay? If you're at 2,200, you're at 2,200, right? This is what you burn by doing nothing. And then you don't eat. Where does your body get that 2,200 from? After about 24 hours, or I'll say 18 to 24 hours. Your body will go to your muscles. Your body will go to the liver. Your body will go to your fat, like Canada said earlier with the ketones. But you stay at that 2,200. In fact, it might increase, but it won't drop below. It has no reason to drop below that 2,200 because it's getting what it needs from what's stored on your body like it's supposed to. So you preserve your metabolic rate with fasting. That's another benefit. Okay. So recap, under eating, your body will do this. If you're constantly under eating, your body will go here so that you're in a surplus. If you're here and you eat nothing, instead of getting this from your food, your body will just take it from your belly fat, your stored sugar, all of that. Your body will just take it from your body. Make sense? Period. That's the end of it. That's where the calorie cutters, the deficit eaters get it wrong. I'm not saying you can't cut any calories, right? Because as you do lose weight, your BMR may go down because you have less body to feed. Like if you're 300 pounds and then you lose weight down to 200 pounds, you don't need the amount of calories as a 300-pound person. So your needs will change over time. But that's different than your body forcing it's your BMR lower than what you're eating as a method of self-preservation. So the answer is under eating is closer to starvation because your body will think so. Your body will treat you as if you're starving if you under eat consistently. Okay. So that's the answer to that. All right. So Contrave is a pill that is supposed to help with appetite suppression and cravings. It's two meds mixed together. Most insurance companies don't cover it either. Is it more expensive than Zepbound? Yes, David is her husband. He made her get any bites by taking her outdoors. Teddy, I need you to write that again. I don't know what the heck you were talking about. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Yes, how dare he? Okay. Okay. Under eating. Okay. Lip balm. Okay, lip balm, lip balm. Okay, Delilah was talking about the benefits of lip chap with sunscreens earlier during her live. Okay. Yes, yes, lip balm. Get some SPF in your lip balm. Yes. It's an SPF lip balm. I'm on a search for one for women, but I found one for David. What do you mean one for women? Lip balm is in unisex? It's Panama Jack because most are very glossy. Oh, but that one and the Blistex 5-star aren't a good option for men. Okay. I'm like, chapstick is, I mean, lip balm is gender specific. Yeah, Sydney girl, get on. Girl, you late. Yes, Delilah has a channel. Go over there and subscribe. I have to go, everyone. This is a good live, Vanity. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Have a good night. Have a good one. Journey of Life. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. So y'all are still rocking with me. Okay. So let's get through this video and then we can start to wrap up because we've been on here for 2 hours. So this will get us probably to 3 hours and then we can start to wrap up. All right. Jen, are you still hanging out in the clouds? Let me know, girl. Okay. And is Contrave more expensive than Zepbound? Oh, there it is. $7.39 out the door for Contrave. Why would anybody pay for that? Help me out. Why would anybody pay for that? Well, I guess it's not okay. I guess originally it's not more expensive than Zepbound because originally Zepbound is about somewhere between $1,000 and $1,200. But now that the vials are out, yes, there's a cheaper option. Okay. All right. Good night. Good night. All right. So let's do this. Let's see what this dude is talking about. Y'all know this is about to trigger the hell out of me. Y'all know this is about to trigger the hell out of me.
Juices, dried fruit. In only 7 days, I ate this entire 2-pound bag of sugar, plus maple syrup, honey, fruit juices, dried fruit. So much sugar. I constantly was eating it down, sipping it down throughout the entire day, but I still lost weight. That's right, it's called the sugar diet. It seems to be the newest growing fad diet that's popping up amongst fad diets every 5 years.
I'm sorry, did I mention that I hate people? Did I mention that? Did I mention that I hate people? Insulin resistant people, obese people, don't do this. Our bodies are not set up for this. We have a problem with sugar already, which is why we are fat. Don't do this. Don't do this. And I don't want to hear, oh, I'm not a sugar eater. When I say sugar, I mean all varieties of sugar. So that includes starch. Okay. Don't do this. I don't care what this fit person is talking about. Don't do this.
Or so, pushing keto and carnivore to the side, you might actually be able to lose weight and become metabolically sufficient by slurping down sugar constantly throughout the day.
I hate that. I'm sorry. Again, did I mention that I hate people? Did I say that? Okay, I think I did. Okay, continuing.
What is it really all that? What are the potential downsides? What did I experience doing this diet for 7 days straight? Let's find out. This is my journey doing the sugar diet. But you gotta focus. So for my understanding, I want to keep it mostly sugar in the absence of fats and protein until about dinner time. And then there we do something like with lean protein. As much sugar as I need to keep me going. Like if I feel a slump or even starting to slump, I just add in sugar just throughout the day. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Anyways, fruit is allowed throughout the day.
Can y'all hear this? Can y'all hear this? I did not realize this was 30 minutes. Oh my God. I might have to speed it up to make it through this without my head falling off. They're adding Contrave and these other pills to their shots when they stop working. I'm assuming some insurance companies are paying. I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing all that. Like, listen, like at some point, like I get that we need help, but at some point we got to be willing to help ourselves. Like we have to be willing to do both. We have to be willing to help ourselves and use medical intervention at the same time. Like if we're gonna do the medical intervention, right, the pharmaceutical intervention, we got to do some of the work ourselves. So just adding medications on top of medications, this gives the people the argument that think that people on GLP-1s don't do any work. And it's like, okay, so what happens when that combination stops working? You just add another one. Okay, and what happens when that combination stops working? You just add another one. Like at some point, we got to acknowledge that this is just, we got to change our behaviors too. That just seems like a lot. Yeah. Insulin sensitive people. Okay, Pat is back. Starting weight 216, current weight 187. Congratulations, Pat. No particular reason for the switch because I didn't know the difference between brand and compound. Studies show the percent of weight loss was higher for Zep. Yeah, that's why I chose Zepbound too. I never tried semaglutide. I started out with compound tirzepatide because one of the GLP and the GIP mechanism, and it seemed that the effects were better, or the results were better for Zepbound. I think they did the actual study after I started, but even at that time, before the study, the official study, it appeared that Zepbound was more effective. I think Cole Robinson, the snake diet guy, started this madness. I have no idea who that is. Congrats on the success so far, Pat. That's great, Pat. I can hear his ridiculousness, but he's not even a bad one. Oh, it gets worse. I was stalled for over 6 months. What does that mean? That means add another medication? I mean, sure, if that's what they want to do, go for it. I'm not, listen, like I said, people are to do whatever they want to do, okay? As a person that stalled for 6 months, I'm aware. Like, I'm aware that you can be on a GLP-1 and still stall. Never once did it cross my mind to just add another medication to get the process going again. No, that never crossed my mind. But I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm saying okay, so at what point is it enough? I'm team GLP-1 or whatever intervention you choose. But when we say, okay, so that intervention is not enough, let's add another one. It seems like these people are talking about everything, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but it just seems like we're just choosing, not we, but like some people are just choosing another pharmaceutical over some lifestyle changes. And the reason that I'm saying that, Michelle, and yes, I know it's harder for some people, but the reason that I'm saying this is because at the end of the day, like I said in my previous video, it'll take a lot to convince me to get beyond the stance of what I'm about to say. And I know y'all not going to agree with me, but this is okay. This is not an echo chamber, so we don't have to agree on everything. But this is my stance. And I've said this before. Zepbound, GLP-1s are simply a tool. Weight loss management drugs are simply a tool. But at the end of the day, the decisions that we make got us to where we were, where we ended up. And the decisions that we make are going to affect us moving forward with or without a GLP-1. Okay? That is how I feel. So I am team take Zepbound forever because I don't feel like we should have to struggle. So whether it's Zepbound or Contrave or Saxenda, or some people do metformin for weight loss, or phentermine, whatever your intervention is, cool, great, fine. But at the end of the day, none of that is going to outweigh the decisions that people are making about the food that they're eating. None of it. None of that medication is going to outweigh the decisions that people make about what they're eating. That's just how I feel. And if you got to combine pharmaceuticals, go for it. It don't affect my life. But I'm asking a legitimate question when I say, okay, what's the point, right? Because if one isn't working, then I understand switching to another. But if one is like kind of working, but you're stalled, so you just add another one to break the stall. What happens when you stall again? Because you will. Stalls are normal. Stalls are a part of significant weight loss. It's not normal to just lose all of your weight consecutively. Some people do, they're lucky, but it's normal to stall. It's normal for your body to say, okay, that's enough for right now. chill out, and we'll try this again later. It's frustrating, but it's normal. So the combination of pharmaceuticals, if that's what people need, sure. I just hope that alongside the combining, people are making some other changes. People are making some other changes, because if they're not, then you can combine all the pharmaceuticals in the world and you're going to end up in the same place. Like it really, I don't know. I'm team. Okay, so let me go back. Oh, wait, I missed something. Hold on, Michelle. Let me go back. I missed some. Okay, so it's harder for some. They're stalled for over 6 months. Okay, Jen says, I wish I could ask these people who are stalled for 6 questions. Ask me, Jen. Well, I've already talked about it, so you probably don't have questions for me. But if you do, let me know. I remember the snake diet guy. He cussed a lot, got on my nerves. Oh my God, Jen. Why do I keep mixing your names up? Oh my God, Cindy, I cussed too. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I'm gonna stop. These are people with other medical problems besides doing it for weight loss. I can come up, but I'm in bed. No, girl, relax, chill, prioritize your rest. Prioritize your rest, Michelle. I'm team GLP-1 and low glycemic index diet. I have a diet. Okay, sorry, it's me. I have to disagree to a point that I know people who was always healthy, not overweight, until they had a medical issue. Okay, so then we have to fix the medical issues if possible. Okay, but Michelle, we started out by talking about our weight. So that's the perspective that I was speaking from. If we're talking about other medical issues, that's not what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about from the perspective of weight loss. Now, if you're saying it's harder for them to lose weight because they have other medical issues, then okay. But that's not what we were talking about originally. So that's additional context that I didn't have. So for example, let's say, what is the Cushing's? Is it Cushing's? The one where your cortisol is kind of out of whack, so you can't really control your weight? Let's look it up. Let me see. Cushing's. Okay, is a hormonal disorder caused by prolonged exposure to high levels of cortisol. This can result in the body producing too much cortisol or from taking glucocorticoid medications for extended periods. Symptoms include weight gain, a rounded face, thin skin, and muscle weakness. Okay, so for example, right? Cushing's disorder, I don't think it's a disease. I think it's a disorder. Cushing's disorder is a condition where your body produces too much cortisol, which leads to weight gain. You can't, from my understanding, that's not something that's diet based. I don't think so. Right? Like weight is controlled, period, by hormones. There is no way around that. Which hormone, right? Depends on which issue you have. So insulin would be the insulin resistant people. And the medical industry is like coming around to accepting that as a real condition. Not quite fully there yet. We haven't quite arrived, but it's coming around. Cushing's, on the other hand, is a condition where your body will put on body fat in an awkward kind of way, but it's not based on exercise. Like, you can't exercise or diet that away, to my understanding. But insulin can be controlled with diet and exercise or impacted, right? So yes, or thyroid, right? Another hormonal issue. Some people have, I think it would be hyperthyroidism, or is it hypo? Too much thyroid hormone or too little? Well, one of them will affect your ability to regulate your weight. It's another hormonal issue that possibly is not resolved by changes in diet and exercise. So to clarify, when I'm talking about weight and hormones, I'm specifically talking about insulin and being able to impact that with diet and exercise. Now, if people have other issues where they need a combination of medications, that's something completely different. But for most of us, that's not the case. Like, a lot of people have said they started on GLP-1s for OSA, right? So yeah, people can have other issues that impact them from weight loss. But When I said what's the point of combining, I was talking about people that don't have other medical ailments. So that's my clarification. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Understand the snake diet guy was unnecessarily vulgar. That's not what you do, Vanity. Okay. All people are not obese because of food. Yeah. Okay. I covered that. Jen, correct. People become obese through the process of their illness, and some GLP is to help a lot of people with these things, but it's sometimes not enough. Shoot, I just seen the time. Gotta go. Have a good night. Pat says I lost 56 pounds with just fasting. I kept the weight off for 5 years, but I couldn't get past 200 pounds. That's why I started GLP-1 journey. I still fast daily, eat carnivore keto. I work out daily. Now, Pat, is it carnivore or keto? I have been waiting for a carnivore to fall out the clouds. So let me know, because keto people will eat produce and carnivores won't. So which one do you eat produce or not? If you don't eat produce, I would say you're more carnivore. If you do eat some produce, then you're more in the keto range. So let me know. All right, let's continue.
Because fruit is mostly sugar. But I've seen a few anecdotes of people who follow this diet and they're dipping and or pouring sugar on their fruit. So I'm gonna have a banana with some sugar.
So the whole point of this is to prove that only calories matter. Didn't I tell y'all earlier that the calorie counters, the cutters, don't care where the calories come from? This is what this is about. So thank you for letting me know about this, Delilah. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. The calorie cutters don't care and insist on proving that it does not matter where your calories come from. As long as you count them, you're fine. Okay, let's continue.
Sugar on the bottom, sugar on the top.
This is disgusting.
Sugary.
One, that's not good for your teeth. That's not good for your liver.
I mean, that crunch is nice. I assume coffee's allowed. This is just black, but maybe I should add some sugar.
This is disgusting.
Whoa!
Oh my God. Ew. Which one of you want to meet over a glass of maple syrup on me? Let me know. Venetia, meet up over a glass of maple syrup?
Oh man, I got a lot to work on here. I like the spoon. Dip. And then. Oh, man, a little bit jittery. I need to slow down only when I need it. Only when I need it. Oh, all right. So this is how far I'm down maple syrup. It's been about like 3 or 4 hours since I got started with this.
Coffee is my safe space.
I actually feel kind of bloated. I actually feel really bloated, to be fair. Oh, dude. Okay. So I know I'm kind of like overacting right now, but I am serious. Like I feel irritable. I feel so irritable right now. I just feel like I have so much like jitters. I have like jitters. And I know it's like, oh, whatever. I think I just need to work out. That's what I'm going to do. I spilled syrup on myself. That's what that is. Okay, jeez. So I assume I'm allowed to have creatine. I mean, it's creatine. The sugar will make it absorbed quicker. But now the driving force behind this, we're going to do a 1/4 cup.
I hate people. Okay.
Of cane sugar. Oops. Dude, look at all that at the bottom. Oh my gosh, dude. Let's give it a try. Oh my gosh, it tastes really good.
The gag is, if you're insulin resistant, sugar doesn't give you energy. It makes you tired. Am I the only one that feels that way? Like, so I can't drink a lot of juice, like fresh juice, because I'll need a nap after. So like, let's say orange juice, whether it's fresh or not, orange juice. I can only drink orange juice about 2 to 3 times a year. Like it's a treat. I'm the type of person that's so insulin resistant. I can't handle a glass of orange juice because I will need a nap. I'll need a nap. It won't make me energized and jittery and bouncing off the wall. or like eating a bunch of potatoes or a lot of bread, it'll put me down. It'll put me down. He's not talking, so
Oh shoot. We're good, we're good. Dude, I've got the craziest pump. I've only done push-ups and bodyweight rows.
okay, here's what's wrong with this, right? He has a lot of muscle on his body. So he probably does not have insulin resistance, right? He's fairly fit, right? So he does a good job of burning up his excess sugar because that's what you do when you exercise. You use it up. So he's probably very insulin sensitive, like Delilah said earlier, which means his body can handle the excess sugar. His body can process it without it being a problem, without it necessarily turning into fat, because he has a lot of muscle to utilize that sugar. This would not apply to, this is what I hate. Never mind. I was going to say this is what I hate about fit people, but it's not, I don't want to put fit people under like an umbrella. I don't want to do that. But people like this, like I hate it. Like people like this just think that because they can do it, everybody can do it. I do not eat produce, but I will eat yogurt and some fruit on occasion. I also like honey and ginger in my tea. Okay, ginger is produce and fruit is also produce. So fruit and vegetables would be under produce. So, but I get what you mean. I get what you mean by ketovore. I get what you mean.
And some neck. Oh, dude, I like feel so like whoa.
I actually don't care about what he's saying.
You have reached 50% of your goal. I need sugar and water. You know that's wrong. We've got, you know that's wrong.
Ugh!
Oh, I feel like I just got more clear all of a sudden. Leftover syrup. Just gonna pour it on the strawberries.
This fucking idiot. This is nasty.
Wow. Look at this glorious plate. It's Cinco de Mayo. Chicken breast, seasoned with some seasoning. I guess that doesn't matter in the oven. But,
that dry ass plate.
That's so good. That's so good. Oh, I have 2 of these plates. I'm still gonna be well under 30 grams of fat. But man, this is just, the savory is so good. Just, I gotta just eat this and enjoy this because this is so good.
I'm sorry, these people are not smart.
It's a pineapple juice. It's pure sugar. To their smoothies, it's like strawberry, raspberry, like syrup topping. That's what they do at those smoothie places. I'm telling you, it's controlled a little bit better. I may have gotten a little loose with my final meal those last couple of days. Maybe I had too many starchy carbs, or maybe it was just too much salt in the low-fat hummus and on the other food that I was having in that final meal, maybe causing me a little bit more water retention. Regardless, overall, I'm still down about a pound from the beginning, which is kind of crazy when you think about the class.
Did he just say a pound? I feel like I just got trolled. I feel like this man just played in my face. You did all of that to prove that you could lose a pound?
Classical way we have been thinking about sugar recently. I had over 500 grams of carbs basically every day from this experiment, mostly from sugar, and I still ended up losing weight. That's crazy when you say it, but when
okay. Whatever. Never mind. Whatever.
you actually think about it and how this was approached, it kind of does make sense. When you think about just pure sugar being only 4 calories per gram, well, if you have a quarter cup of sugar and water, it's only 180 calories.
No, I don't care what he's talking about. Let's see what the comments say. Okay. With experiments like this, especially this one, especially this one with super high sugar, it would be really awesome if you did things like blood tests or some medical indicators of long-term health as well. People may not just be considering diets for how they feel in the moment, but how it treats their body in the long run. He didn't seem like himself the whole episode. This was very informative. I need sugar and water, Men in Black. My boy sounding like he's on straight powder. Yeah. I don't believe him when he runs around like he just has a ton of energy. I actually don't believe him. I don't believe him. I think that was fake for the video, because I think eating 500 grams of carbs a day when you're not an athlete is a recipe to crash and burn, because he said he felt irritable, not energetic, but he was running around like he was energetic. So I don't believe him. I don't believe him, but I can't believe they're promoting, like, this is being promoted as some sort of successful way to like lose weight.
Hey, it's Christine, and just wanted to share my experience and what I think of this sugar diet, sugar fasting trend that's going around. If you haven't heard of it yet, Cole Robinson is promoting it, and I think actually coined the term sugar diet and sugar fasting. And a lot of other fitness influencers are jumping on the trend because they're actually seeing crazy weight loss results and getting shredded off of eating lots of sugar, which sounds so crazy and so extreme. So I had to try it because I love these extreme things. I loved when even back in the day,
Shut up. Shut up.
Cole was doing all the fasting protocols because I got big into that. And if you followed my channel for a while,
All of the fasting protocols. Okay.
you know that I was big into fasting, although I'm not anymore. Oh my God. I eat every day to keep my metabolism up. Lesson learned on that one. Yeah, my metabolism.
Oh, did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? He does sound like he doesn't feel well, Jen. He did sound like that. He definitely did. That's why I said all that running around like, whoo, I'm pumped. I got so much energy. That was fake. That motherfucker was sick. He did not feel good, and you can tell. But did y'all hear what she just said? Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back.
If you followed my channel for a while, you know.
Hold on, let me slow her down because it sounds like she's already a fast talker.
That I was big into fasting, although I'm not anymore. Oh my God. I eat every day to keep my metabolism up.
I was big into fasting. I eat every day to keep my metabolism up. You see how she just conflated two different things? She conflated fasting with crashing her metabolism. Does she give that she's, even if you don't care about fasting, does she come off like she's, this is going to sound mean, but I was going to say, does she come off like she knows what she's talking about, or she's just hopping trend to trend? Oh my God, I love these extreme things. I can tell you right now, she doesn't know what she's talking about, because she just conflated fasting with crashing your metabolism. No, under eating crashes your metabolism. Fasting preserves it. Two completely different things. Two completely different outcomes.
And learned on that one. Yeah, my metabolism got trashed from all that fasting, but
okay, lady.
lesson learned, and it was fun to experiment. So, sugar fasting, if you haven't heard what it is yet, it's basically eating.
If your metabolism got trashed from fasting, why would you attempt another fast? Even though this is not a fast, why would you attempt another fast? Why would you hop right back on to a fasting bandwagon?
Just carbohydrates in the form of straight glucose, which would be from fruits, juice, or just straight cane sugar. And people are like drinking Slurpees all day or just juices all day and seeing crazy weight loss results, like keeping your fat and protein like non-existent.
I just thought about something. But let me ask y'all first before I even get into it. Would I be beating a dead horse if I address one more thing about, no, I'm not gonna do it. Nope, I'm not gonna do it, because I don't want to come off like I'm picking on people. So let me just not do it.
I guess just gives you like a ton of energy.
As a matter of fact, I'll do it as a members only video, because let me write it down, because I just thought of something. That I didn't address earlier because I was trying to get through the comments. Physiology. Okay. All right. Specialty. Okay. All right. I'll address that. I'll address that in the members only video because I don't feel like people feeling like I'm picking on them. I just don't. Like people be getting that impression, and I'm like, this is just how I talk. Like, yes, I ask people to come out of the clouds, and then I talk and I discuss. So I'll talk about it later.
Boost your metabolism, and then you drop the body
What
fat.
is
Although
this airhead talking about? I'm sorry. Let's go back. What is she talking about?
Carbohydrates in the form of straight glucose, which would be from fruits, juice, or just straight cane sugar. And people are like drinking Slurpees all day or just juices all day and seeing crazy weight loss results, like keeping your fat and protein like non-existent, I guess, just gives you like a ton of energy, boosts your metabolism, and then you drop the body
She doesn't even know. She said, I guess. She don't even know. She don't even know.
fat. Although people are very concerned about losing muscle because if you don't have any protein for like too many days. So I had to try it. Although Cole says he's been doing it for a while and he hasn't noticed any muscle loss. He has
Y'all just believe anything people tell y'all.
like meat like every 3 days or every other day or something like that. I don't know. So I had to at least try a little bit of it. And I started to incorporate some more fruits in my diet and a little bit more sugar. And I did notice a big difference in my energy, maybe a little too much, like when you get that sugar high.
How many people here get sugar highs? This is another, what is with these thin people or fairly fit people talking about sugar highs and sugar fasting and like, this is not for us, right? So we may as well not talk about it, kind of. But this is another, like, what is
And actually, I was up on the scale. So I was actually trying to lose some weight. I was up about 8 pounds.
From sugar, and
I'm sorry.
Hey, it's Christina's dropping much faster because I had so much more energy. Definitely my metabolism was getting boosted because I could feel like I was
what?
As I started to incorporate more fruits into my diet, I noticed that the weight was dropping much faster because I had so much more energy. Definitely my metabolism was getting, as I started to incorporate more fruits into my diet, I noticed that the weight was dropping much faster because I had so much more energy. Definitely my metabolism was getting boosted because
No, let me make sure I don't have her sped up. I do. Okay, so maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem here. Let's try this one more time.
was dropping much faster because I had so much more energy. Definitely my metabolism was getting boosted because I could feel like I was getting more hot. I even checked my Fitbit and my heart rate was.
Who sent me down this alley? It was Delilah. I can't get her because she's not here. Be nice. Okay. She said she meant her metabolism was what now?
Was getting boosted because
her metabolism was getting boosted because she was getting hotter, because that's how that works. Yeah, that's how that works.
Could feel like I was getting more hot. I even checked my Fitbit and my heart rate would be much more elevated than usual on my walks and when I was doing like lifting or anything like that. So yeah, definitely he's right. So I did try one day. Cole recommends going like hardcore, just like not even fruit, like cut the volume and just go straight for the sugar. Like he recommends like jellies and jams and like juices or like even soda, like not diet soda, like straight.
Soda. He recommends soda. High fructose corn syrup, soda. Okay.
Like just pure sugar, zero fat, zero protein.
Why is that funny? What? I don't get it. Why is that funny? What's funny?
And he does this for like days on end. And there's people that have done this for like days on end and get crazy results. But I was like, all right, let me just try just one day and see how it goes. And I did. I just did. I really like jelly.
Wait a minute. She did it for one day and boosted her metabolism? And she knew her metabolism was boosted because she started getting hotter? Okay.
jelly. I'm a sweet tooth person. So I did some strawberry jelly and grape jelly just for one day. I ate jelly for one day. And I don't know, it didn't feel as good as like just eating like fruit. I don't know. It was just like too much, like sugar high. Energy was good, but it towards the late afternoon and evening, I definitely felt like a sugar crash and felt like kind of like.
You ever heard of a protein crash or a fat crash? I wonder why not. Huh.
I would think it was like withdrawals. Like I was just low energy and my mood was low. And then I actually, I have a bit of carpal tunnel in my right hand from all the years of like working on a computer. And it typically doesn't bother me, but on that particular day, it was actually not only at night when I fell asleep, because usually it gets triggered when I'm sleeping. Oh my God, the pins and needles was like 10 times worse than it's ever.
Ma'am, that's called I don't deserve this. I feel like I'm getting dumber by the moment. Okay, so let's recap real quick. She spent the day eating jam because she's trying this high sugar thing, right? And then her sugar crashes, right? Because that's what happens. That's normal for your blood sugar to crash when you only rely on sugar as your source of energy. You're going to crash. And then she says a condition that she has, carpal tunnel. Carpal tunnel does cause like irritation, pain, and all of that. And it got worse. And she's surprised by that, as if sugar does not cause inflammation. As if sugar doesn't cause inflammation. So whatever aches and pains you have are going to get worse on a high sugar diet. But she wouldn't know that because she didn't do any research and she's just following the latest trend or fad, not even a trend, because I doubt that this lasts longer than a year. So we're going to use the Google definition of fad. Oh my God, you're still here? What did you miss? You missed me being extremely irritated. These people are looking for attention at this point.
Been like I felt it like all the way up my arm. I was trying to do like stretches and
you cannot stretch. Never mind. Let me shut up.
Like squeezing my hand.
It's inflammation, ma'am.
And like nothing was like getting rid of like.
Yeah, because you're eating a bunch of sugar, ma'am.
The pain. So I think with too much sugar, like it definitely causes a lot of inflammation. Even though you're getting like a lot of good energy. Yeah, I don't know. It was a little strange. And I was like very, very thirsty. Like I drank like a ton of water. And actually I weighed myself just to see like where things were going with that. And my weight was definitely up that day from drinking all the water. Like my body just was probably like full of like sugar and just needed the water too to like try and flush it out. But then, so I was like, oh, maybe not for me. For those that are crazy and like to do.
What is so funny?
Pure sugar.
If you're just coming in, please like the stream, drop in and say hello, and then you can go back to the clouds if you like, but we like to have people come down and say hi.
Sugar fasting days. You go ahead. You go be hardcore. Not for me. But then I continued just eating like a little bit more fruit than usual and actually reduced my fats. So definitely had a shift in not doing so much low carb as I typically was doing, and more carbohydrates from fruits, some from like white rice and just a little bit from like bread, but mostly, and a lot of veggies and some lean protein. And in the past week, I've seen a significant drop on my scale, like almost down like 5.
So she just balanced her diet and lost weight. God. So she did the challenge, right? My shirt went down. Oh God. Does anybody else have that problem? I can't wait till I weigh like the right weight where my chair won't go down when I'm sitting in it. I was basically sitting on the floor. Oh God damn it, headphones. So she went from eating high sugar, feeling very inflamed and crashing, to just balancing out her diet and then lost weight. And she's like, she thinks that that's special. You just ate a balanced diet, ma'am.
5 pounds in a week. So Yeah, and I'm thinking, I know it's crazy, right? So it's high carb, low fat, and I'm doing about moderate protein, but most people say go low on the protein as well. But I don't want to lose a lot of muscle, and I felt like I needed the protein. Like,
I'm done with her. Next. I'm done. I'm done with you.
I just tried the sugar diet for 8 days. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you exactly what happened to my blood work. And
By the way, Journey of Life, when you commented on that video, why would I take advice from someone that doesn't look like healthy themselves? I was thinking that, but I didn't say it. But I was thinking it. Like, I was like, you got this lady up here bashing GLP-1s. And she looked a hot mess. She looked a hot mess. And I'm just like, you're recommending supplements and talking crap about it? Okay.
and my glucose levels, along with my weight, measurements, and body composition using a DEXA scan. I'm Jenny. I've been on the carnivore diet for over 2.5 years. And in my latest video, I got over 100 comments on the sugar diet and how I should try it. I'd never heard of it, so I did a quick YouTube search and discovered that this diet was in fact real. It seems to have been popularized by Cole Robinson, comedian and originator of the snake diet. And one of the big names that's really been pushing the sugar diet recently is Mark Smelly Bell. I watched a few videos from both of these guys.
I don't care. Get to the
Right.
point.
So what the heck is the sugar diet? The sugar diet is a way of eating where you only consume sugar from the moment you wake up until dinner time. No protein, no fat during the day. Then around dinner time, you eat some lean proteins and maybe some vegetables with very low fat. You want to keep your protein intake pretty low, typically 15% or less of your daily calorie consumption.
Don't care.
No
Continue.
corn, things like that. And of course, you're going to have a little bit of fat, a little bit of fat to cook your meat in or things like that. But you're typically trying to keep the fat pretty low.
Don't care.
Consumption. But another way to increase FGF21 that's being pushed heavily by the sugar diet influencers is the carbohydrate overfeeding, hence the lack of calorie restriction on the sugar diet.
Hold on,
Now,
let
these
me go
sugar
back.
So how does this all work? How are people some of these people are doing sugar fast days where all they eat is sugar, no protein, no fat whatsoever, just sugar all day long. So what's the outcome? What's the point of eating all of this sugar? Well, weight loss. Apparently these
That was some bad B-roll or stock footage, because how are you going to say it's an all sugar day where they don't eat any fat or protein and show like a pastry? Pastries have fat.
people are losing a significant amount of weight in a pretty short time. They also claim that it makes your workouts more explosive and productive. And they also are claiming that it changes your insulin sensitivity and that it can reset and boost your metabolism. So how does this all work?
No, I need to know more. What do you mean by reset and boost the metabolism? Those are just words. Those are just words. I need to know more.
How are people losing weight eating an unlimited amount of sugar? Well, proponents of the sugar diet claim that it's through the increase of a hormone called FGF21. FGF21 is a hormone that can alter metabolism in fat cells. The main key to increasing this hormone is low
Alter metabolism. If that doesn't tell me anything, let me look it up. That doesn't tell me anything. Okay. It's a hormone that plays a key role in regulating energy balance and glucose and lipid homeostasis. It's been explored as a potential therapeutic for metabolic disorders like diabetes and fatty liver disease. FGF21 achieves its effects by interacting with specific FGF receptors and the cofactor called something I can't pronounce.
protein consumption. But another way to increase FGF21 that's being pushed heavily by the
Oh, I have no idea. Excuse me. I don't know who this is. Did she? I don't see it in the comments. Let me see. Sort by newest. She's still commenting. 11 hours ago. So, nope.
the sugar diet influencers is the carbohydrate overfeeding, hence the lack of calorie restriction on the sugar diet. Now, these sugar diet influencers, they're not wrong about FGF21 and its influence over metabolism. I think Nick Norwitz explained the FGF21 mechanism most succinctly in one of his recent Substack articles.
Wait a minute. Glucagon, a hormone that raises blood glucose levels, stimulates FGF21 secretion. Leptin. This hormone involved in appetite regulation and energy balance can also induce FGF21 secretion. So we're saying that you stimulate FGF21 by overloading your system on carbohydrates. But you know what's interesting about this? No, she's still commenting on her comments, Journey of Life. I'll let her finish.
Articles, which I have linked in the description. Nick states, when protein is restricted on the sugar diet, FGF21 spikes. This signals to fat cells to uncouple their mitochondria and burn off energy, increasing energy expenditure by up to 20% per day. Even on a modest 2,000 calorie diet, that equates to 400 plus calories burned for no extra effort. Now, on
These
paper,
people are
all of
annoying.
that sounds awesome. And who doesn't want to eat a ton of candy and sugar and fruit and still lose weight? That's kind of like the holy grail of diets. But at what cost? What impact is the sugar diet going to have to your long-term metabolic health? Sure, if you can lose some weight in the short term, that's awesome. But is weight loss really all a person should be concerned about? So now that we know what the sugar diet is and how it works, let's talk a little bit about how I set up my sugar diet experiment. I wanted to give the sugar diet a fair shot, so I did it for 8 days. And I know that seems like kind of a weird period of time, but it's just kind of what fit into my schedule. I have another N of 1 experiment that I needed to start on a particular day, and I wanted to make
Girl,
sure.
get
So
the
now that
damn
we've covered
point.
experimental design, let's go over what I ate during the 8-day, or was it going to be lean mass? I was looking to answer are as follows. First off, would I lose or gain weight? Next, what would the composition of that weight loss or gain be? Was the weight loss or gain going to be fat, or was it going to be lean mass? Would my visceral fat go up or down? What would happen to my fasting insulin, triglycerides, HDL, and other blood work markers? And
Oh my
finally,
God.
how would I feel on the sugar diet? So now that we've covered experimental design, let's go over what I ate during the 8-day experiment. I went grocery shopping the day before it started, and I have to say that it was kind of fun. I ended up going with lean turkey for the vast majority of my lean protein. And then I bought a ton of fruit to start with the first day, along with sugar, because I don't keep sugar in my house as I am a carnivore and I just don't have that stuff around. So let's break down what I ate on each day. We're going to talk about the macros, the amount of calories that I ate, and we'll talk a little bit about how I felt, because it was a wild ride eating this way. So day one, I started off the day with a bunch of berries and dried figs dipped in sugar, pure sugar. I also ate some pink pineapple.
Okay.
Now, about an hour after eating, I felt really gross. I started feeling better after about an hour, but just that initial glucose spike was intense. We're going to talk about the continuous glucose monitor data later on in the video, but I do want to mention that my blood sugar spiked to 271 after that breakfast of berries and sugar and pineapple and all that crap. I'm wearing the Stello continuous glucose monitor, so it only goes up to 250. So I had to do a manual blood stick with the Keto Mojo, and the highest I caught it was 271. So that's just kind of setting us up for what the glucose is going to look like during this experiment. After that, I went to the gym, and I was so hot and sweaty. And then I started getting cramps in both my left hand and left leg. It was.
I'm sorry. Why does it seem like everybody that does this gets sick and ends up in pain and miserable? Oh, Banana Girl. Oh, I'm sorry. Who's that? Oh, okay. I don't know who that is. Why does it seem like everybody that does this ends up sick and in pain and miserable? Yet they're talking about how good it is. Content creators are so weird. Like, I don't know. These people are weird.
Kind of scary. I've never had a muscle cramp like that in my hands. I ended up drinking some Element electrolytes, and it went away after about an hour, but that was crazy. I've never had that kind of reaction to an extreme blood sugar spike, having the cramping start that quickly. I ended up working out, did like 36 minutes on the Stairmaster. I did a strength training workout. I got really, really sweating a lot more than I normally do. And then I ended up doing, I think it was 20 minutes in the sauna, and then I went over to do some strength training. Now, I do feel like I was able to go longer in the gym, but I won't say that like I was able to lift heavier. I did try, but
I agree they should feel sick, but it's like they're skipping over how they felt sick and still talking about like the success in the short term.
I ended up having to lift a little lighter. So I don't know what that was all about. I ate sugar throughout the day. I ended up eating some cherries and some grapes and some things like that, taking me over to dinner time. And by the time dinner
I'm going to let this run while I go feed the cat real quick.
time hit, I was starving. Like I wanted some meat. I could not wait to eat the meat. So I ended up eating 3/4 pound of 93% lean ground turkey, cooked in just the tiniest bit of bacon grease. And then I had some, zucchini and mushrooms that I fried up along with it. And I just plowed that down. But after I ate, I felt so bloated and just gross. And then later that evening, we went to a movie. So I ended up doing 2 24-ounce ices along with 2 bags of candy. So some Nerd gummies and this other bag of candy. I think it was Starburst, mini Starbursts. But yeah, it was an insane day. Day one, I just wanted to go right into it, balls to the wall, no calorie restriction, no nothing like that. As far as my macros, I ended up eating 3,715 calories on day one with 82% carbs at 762 grams of carbs. I did 9% protein, 82 grams, and 9% fat, 38 grams. The first day, I wasn't really super concerned about macros and just anything. I just wanted to eat and just kind of let my body okay, this is what we're doing for the next 8 days. It was a lot. I didn't feel great. I ended up making it through though. Obviously I'm here recording this video. I didn't die. The cramping was a bit concerning though. It really did freak me out. I thought I was having a heart attack for a minute, but obviously I wasn't. But I'm just thankful that the electrolytes made those go away because that was not fun.
Okay, she's still sounding stupid. What did I miss? I went outside to feed the stray cats, and there's a couple of chickens that like to roost on the front, like by the front, in front of the door, and they left me an egg. I feel special. I feel like this is a proposal. This is the chicken's version of a proposal. All right.
I'd like to thank Element for sponsoring today's video.
No, I don't care nothing about that.
Again, throughout the
these are disgusting. Remember, I was talking about a while ago on my walk and talk how I had tried an electrolyte powder and was like, ew, it's salty, it's nasty. It was Element. Disgusting. Wow. She was laughing because she thought she was having a heart attack. They used to tell people you gain weight and then you start losing it again. So I thought, what's the harm in eating fruit all day, every day? LOL. I lasted 1 week, if that. Fruit's not harmful. It's not harmful, but it's not. Eat it if you want it and don't eat it if you don't want it. That's how I feel about fruit. That's how I feel about produce in general, fruits and vegetables. Eat it if you want it. Don't eat it if you don't want it. It's that simple. There is no good, bad. Eat it if you want it. Don't eat it if you don't want it. That's where produce lies for me.
To happen, you need to have pretty low protein. So there were some days that I had, slightly higher, but then towards the last few days, I was really trying to get it below 12%, and I was successful. I wanted to play around with the calorie amounts as well because these sugar diet influencers.
And this also feels like a lot of work and a lot of calculations. That's the thing about the calorie counters. They have to do so much work and so much mental gymnastics. And I would like to say all diets work and no diets work. They all work and none of them work. So meaning you give your body any type of shock to the system. So going from let's say high fat, low carb, and then you shock your system and switch to high carb, low fat, you'll lose weight doing anything temporarily. The point is what's going to work in the long term. Not for a week. That's extreme. Yeah, only fruit. That's a lot.
Influencers are saying that there's no calorie restriction, but is that really true? So I did very high. I did, normal levels, 2,500, and then I went down to under 2,000 on the last day. So before we dive into the hard data, I want to talk a little bit about just how I felt during this experiment. Overall, I did not feel good at all. I had headaches. I had heartburn probably half of the days that I did this experiment and had to take some Pepto-Bismol. My temperature regulation was all over the place. I was so hot. I was sweaty. It was not great. My heart rate was definitely higher. I had that muscle cramping on day one, and then I did the Element electrolytes, so that didn't happen again, but that was concerning. I had a lot of brain fog. On the second day, I was trying to remember something and it was just gone out of my mind. I also felt a bit loopy, and I did feel like constant hunger. Sugar has like nothing in it, no nutrients. Sure, if you're eating fruit, you're getting a little bit of vitamins and minerals, but simple sugars just don't have much to it. You're getting most of your vitamins and minerals from fat and protein. So it was just kind of like, ugh, I was so hungry all the time. Very interesting. On day 7, I had some anxiety return. I used to suffer from depression and anxiety very badly in my teens and 20s. And since
Oh,
being
I'm
on carnivore,
sorry. I wasn't talking about nothing, just talking shit. Oh, I was talking about I was talking about the fruitarian saying she only eats fruit. I said, yeah, whatever. The vegans and the fruitarians are on one end, the carnivores are on the other, and then they all look at the people in the middle like we're the problem. So whatever.
I'm not on any medication anymore. I don't have anxiety attacks anymore. And on day 7 of the sugar diet, I had anxiety again. It was very light, but I noticed it because I do not get that anymore. So
This happens to me with gluten. When I remove gluten, my anxiety is very low. When I add it back, I become more of a worry wart. Like I worry about everything all the time. So that's interesting that happens with sugar.
that was expected, I guess, but just seeing it and feeling it was a lot. I also had my gums started to bleed again. I was flossing my teeth on day 8. And
didn't I say that's not good for your teeth when he sprinkled the sugar onto the banana and ate it? Not good, because sugar causes nutrient deficiencies. She done fucked around and got gingivitis playing around on the internet for clicks.
Every single one of my gums was bleeding. That does not happen on carnivore. My oral health has improved drastically on carnivore. I don't get any bleeding gums anymore, but just 8 days on the sugar diet, and that was happening. Breakouts. So I don't ever get pimples. Ever. I did when I was a kid. I had terrible acne, but I never get them anymore. And I got breakouts. I had some pimples. I still do have them. This is 2 weeks after sugar diet. I had some over here on my neck. It was like a lot right around here.
Yep, this happened to me a couple of weeks ago or about a week ago. Yep, same thing. And then I dropped my sugar, removed the gluten, and it went away. Yes, Zepbound is the problem now. Why are we watching this? I have a headache listening to honestly, I got carried. I went down the rabbit hole. It's not my fault. It's Delilah's fault. Delilah pointed me to the stupidity, and now I'm hooked. Okay, we can stop. Honestly, it's late anyway. This is Journey of Life's fault. But if you were enjoying that, feel free to go watch the video. So I'm gonna start wrapping up. Okay, Pat J, thank you for dropping out of the clouds. Jen, it's late, but thank you for rocking out, girl. Journey of Life, you tapped back in, but you're on the West Coast, so you still got time in your day. Thank you. And thank you, Tara, for rocking out. Thank you to everybody that participated and commented. Y'all don't pay me no mind. Don't take no offense to anything that I say. I just be talking. At the end of the day, your life is your life. Make the decisions that you make. I am not a doctor. I am not a medical professional. I am not a scientist. I am not anything to you but a content creator. Okay, so I like to have these conversations to see what people think and to share what I think and the research that I have done, and I give people the opportunity to come up onto the panel to speak if they would like to, but most people don't like to. Okay, so you are at the mercy of the chat if you feel the need to push back, but we'll do it by typing. That's fine, but it's gonna seem like I'm getting the better of you because I actually can talk. Like you can hear my voice. Okay, that doesn't mean I'm right. That just means that, it's hard to debate a point when you're writing and another person is talking. That's why I give people the opportunity to come up and talk. But people don't want to, so it's okay. But I just wanted to, everyone is thanking me now. Stop, Journey of Life. Everyone was enjoying that. Don't do that, okay? But yeah, so I feel like, I mean, if I wanted this to be more organized, I would have made notes. I wasn't thinking about that, like, because we were talking about this earlier and then just decided to continue the conversation. So definitely thank you to the new people that commented. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe. Don't come on here tomorrow. Oh my God, I'm coming over here, Sydney. I got to talk to y'all about some stuff. Okay, I'm not, but Sydney, I'm gonna do a quick. I'm gonna get off of here, but I'm gonna do like a quick little 5-minute members video because there's something else I want to address. I didn't want to seem like I was beating a dead horse or picking on anybody, but there's something else that I thought about that I wanted to address, and I'm gonna be irritated if I don't get it off my chest. So I'm gonna do a quick little 5-minute video, and y'all can watch it tomorrow. I'll post it tonight, but you can watch it whenever you have time. All right, please consider becoming a member. Zepbound family, GLP-1 family, weight loss, weight gain, whatever you are, wherever you want to do, wherever you want to be, wherever you at, you are vain, and that's all that really matters. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much it. Tomorrow is a no day if you don't know. I've been live pretty much every day, so I'm trying to do better about prioritizing my rest. And so it was only fair that I come on here for 3.5 hours and talk my nonsense, okay? All right, so I won't be here tomorrow. In fact, I don't think I'll be here Monday either, but I have a live stream scheduled for Tuesday, so go ahead and set your notifications. And that's pretty much it. Everyone say I am gymming tomorrow. I am gymming tomorrow, but it's very, very light. Because I got to do physical therapy anyway. So I'm going to go heat up my muscles at the gym since, again, another day passes where I didn't get to go. And it's because my gym is so far from wherever I'm at that other things in my day get in the way. And I'm just sick of it. Like, my time management has been so off. And it's probably going to continue to be off until I get rid of the farm animals. The chicken left an egg for me. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Sydney, I was about to say, I might create a community tab post. No, I should not be doing that either. I should not be creating no community tab post, and I should not be coming live. Okay. There is one thing. Okay. I am supposed to make a sauna video for the members. How about I don't post it tomorrow? I just schedule it to go live Monday. Like, I'll premiere it Monday for the members. Okay. Oh my gosh, Sydney, I'm not going to come on here. I promise. Okay. All right. I'm looking for excuses to come onto YouTube, and I'm not supposed to be on here tomorrow. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Everybody make sure you like the stream on your way out. Good night to everyone. And I will see y'all. I'll see y'all Tuesday. All right. Bye. If I stop sharing my screen, I'm sorry. Let's see. Stop screen. Okay. Now bye for real this time.